our hearts, our gut mind is saying, connect all those three circles
to create action.
And we let whatever just come on out.
If you really want to get into lucid
dream story, script story, how your day is going. On how it's going. Your host, Psy Tai. Hopefully y'all having a wonderful morning. Having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight special, whatever time is coming at you. Energy, take part in this. And we all in this boat. Start the conversation. Start the conversation. Chat box or whatever time is coming at you. Energy, take part in this. And we all in this boat. Start the conversation. Is it like bouncing away? Start the conversation. Make sure the mic and everything is all right. Whatever time is coming at you. Energy, take part in this. And we all in this boat. There we go. Y'all heard it 5 times over. Hopefully y'all holiday season awesome. And that y'all was able to come and tie on y'all story. Start off, hey, got some, what's up, King guys? Start off with some music. Got a song by Alicia Keys and Khalid. This is the piano cover, piano instrument of it. Order. I really love this song because it touches to how we moving forward in the year 2021 and how we've been moving in the year 2020. I'm gonna sing a cover, little cover. Yeah. Cause I'm so done. Guiding my time, holding me back. I'm living the way that I want. Cause I'm so done. Fighting myself, going through hell. I'm living the way that I want. 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 I'm living the way that I lost control over all my energy. Done so much damage to my heart. I didn't mean I didn't mean to go so far. Oh my God, I wish I could be better than this. My God, wish I could be. Cause I'm so done. Guarding my tongue, holding me back. I'm living the way that I want. Cause I'm so done. Holding me back, holding me back. I'm living the way that I want. 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 This time. Fucked up a few lines. Yeah. That's how that goes. Shout outs to the bro that I emailed to allow me to use that instrument on his YouTube channel. Fun music. Keeping up the music vibe while I'm sharing the page. Hey, shout outs to Crystal Vibe. Thanks for joining in. This instrumental I made a while ago. Shout outs to True. Shout outs to True Life Stories. This is made a sample of them. Hey.
I was a bird looking down at me, and as I'm looking at the bird looking up at it.
On with the creativity this morning.
It was cool, but I'm just saying, I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying, I don't see no demons, so I'll be screwed. I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying, I don't know.
It was cool, but I'm just saying.
I don't know. In my mind, it was telling me that everything dead, you can see. I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying, I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying. As it flew over, I kind of felt it, so I guess I opened my eyes, I looked up, and I talked. I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying, I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying. As it flew over, I kind of felt it, so I guess I
There we go.
opened my eyes, I looked up, and down my body, it was like I was looking down at myself. I'm just saying, I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying. At least like after you. It was cool, but I'm just saying.
Why just
In my mind, it was telling me that everything dead, you can see. I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying. I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying. As it flew over, I kind of felt it, so I guess I opened my eyes, I looked up, and I talked. I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying. I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying. As it flew over, I kind of felt it, so I guess I opened my eyes, I looked up, and down my body.
Yeah, I actually did test. I got that. Oh, I can't hear. Now I got these noise canceling headphones on. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that show. I'm gonna watch that movie. Find that soul that's inside. Hey, LaShawn Newman.
As it flew over, I kind of felt it, so I guess I opened my eyes, I looked up, and I talked. It was cool, but I'm just saying, I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying. As it flew over, I kind of felt it, so I guess I opened my eyes, looked up,
yeah.
and down my body, I was like,
I don't know, but it's true, but I'm just saying. I don't know if it's true, but I'm just smoking. I don't know if it's true, but I'm just joking. I don't know if it's true, but I'm just tying. I don't know, but it's true, but I'm surviving. Getting high, I'm just living out my life. I got a kid, man, this how I fucking live, man. I'm drinking water, preparing for this new world order. Yeah, I'm on top of it. Nigga, we the new Illuminati. I don't care if you try to if that guy tried to shot me. I pop up in another world. I pop up in another world. I'm multi-dimensional. You don't even care if... I'm just ripping. But these people don't care about what's in their mind. These people just care about wasting their time. These people just care about making the dime. I'm just trying to get out of my mind. Travel to universes. I don't care about all of their curses. Putting on me, man, I'll reverse it like Uno. Hey, Uno, cause I'm the one like Neo. Shout outs to Jet Li. That movie, the 1-2. Cause he the 1-2. We all the 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. Hey, what's going on, Ren Wineho? Love the tea. Check it out. Get it yours at the Just Tainow store. It's called the Flower Tie. Oh, I ain't even smoked yet. Let's hit the vape. No, I ain't gonna start over. There we go. The wrong button. Hey. The shrooms told me everything dead I can see. But in my mind, man, I didn't want to believe. I took 5 shrooms in the dark into my heart, combining with my mind and my gut. And then I let whatever come out. I was just tired. Took another world, man. I was just dying. Met my maker, then I came back. So nobody can take my soul. I know that for a fact. I'm on the show and I'm the main star, the superstar. We all are in our own show. That's how we grow. Once you know. Art is gonna get us through it. 2020, 21, yeah, we do this.
It was cool, but I'm just saying. As it flew over, I kind of felt it, so I guess I opened my eyes, I looked up, and I caught it. It was cool, but I'm just saying. Feel the beat. It was cool, but I'm just saying. As it flew over, I kind of felt it, so
There
I
we
guess
go.
I opened my eyes, I looked up.
Try to check out the Discord. Jump in the Discord if y'all want to chat. Try in the morning time.
I don't know. It was cool, but I'm just saying, it seemed like the sun was just beaming on a little different. Oh, I don't know. It's under the black light.
This would be
Me that everything dead, you can see. As it flew over, I kind of felt it, so I guess I opened that image of the bird and I like closed my. I was the bird looking down at, as I'm looking at the bird, looking up at it. So when I crossed my leg, but I seen it in like a different manifestation. I don't want to see no demons, so I'll be spooked. Energy, information.
beautiful. Yeah, that's an instrumental I made a couple months ago. It's gonna be on the mixtape instrumental album coming up. Experience called The Sync Is Real. Called The Sync Is Real by Psy Tai. Coming to your airways pretty soon. But yeah, expression is where it's at. Expression is where I'm at. So I thank y'all again for tying on with me. Y'all in here, let me turn more lights. Hey, H70 Polo. Oh, cool. The Hero Day, Horus Day was pretty awesome. When I put this on, I can't even hear myself talk.
What up? What up?
Hey, King guys.
Nothing, man. I'm about to roll this up, and then I'll be right back. But I'm tapped in, man.
Ooh, thanks for coming on by.
Oh
Get
yeah,
that
we got
roll
the
up. Get that roll up.
yeah, and then I'll be right back.
All right.
All right.
But yeah, yesterday was an awesome day for on the Thai family over here. We did something I never did before, but it was pretty awesome. I learned a lot. Well, my daughter got all dressed up, and her cousin came over, got them all dressed up at the table, opened up their presents one by one, so that they can really take in each present, each gift, and not just probably like ram through them, just tear them apart, and be like, oh, this, and now I got this, and now I got that. Like, make every single thing an event. Because it's all about the moment. All about the moment. The moments, we breeze through so many moments. But yet, in every moment lies infinity, lies all these emotions and all these awesome things that we can get out of it, and that we can draw out of it. Like how draw emotion from it, draw emotion out of the moments. Like that moment in movies stuff where it's like, oh man, they about to do it. He about to get him. Oh, it's coming up. Like those moments happen in our lives all the times. We just got to pay attention to them and really notice that this is our life that we living out. Hey, what up? I was about to say, what up? What up, Todd? What up, Philster? What up, Phil? That this is our life that I'm tying on, and our story, our narrator is always talking. We was tying on that on the last podcast, listening, tapping into the narrator voice of our life. It's like Peter Griffin. Like, you ever hear that song? That song was telling the truth. Like, I always, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Like that, them thoughts is real. People be coming unto form of things of, hey, like it's people around me. It's more than just me operating in this universe. Like not even just people that's in front of me. It's something that's working beyond the mechanisms of the brain. And it really is. It really is. Yet it's all us at the same time. I'm looking for this word that I had found out when I was talking about optical illusions. Rockwell. Rockwell. Thanks, bro. I'm looking for that's the name of the artist I was just tying on. Where is the it's a word that I had just found out for when optical illusions and how optical illusions work. Wait, how optical? Sorry, guys. It was a word I had already, but our brain is always making up something. Oh, MJ sang the hook. Okay, I'm like now you say it in my head, it sound like Mike Jack, but the verse sound different. I was confused all over. Persistence of fire effect. That's what it is. I swear I put it inside the Discord. But it's a word for how our brain is always coming up with something, even if it sees something else that it was not used to seeing. And it started with a G. But if I can't find it, that's okay. Like when I was saying the definition of when something is turning, and you ever see the optical illusion, something is turning, and then they say, is it turning to the left or is it turning to the right? So then you can, um, when you're looking at it, look like it's turning to the left, and some people can make it turn back to the right. Or when you first see it, you think it's turning to the right, and then when you look at it again, it's turning to the left, and then it's like, oh man, I can't make it go back again. Like, oh, I'm trying, just keep on going back like that. It's like our brain is constantly programming things in front of us, but yet it's always something else going on. And the psychedelics will wake your ass up to all of that. Woke me up to all of that. To what's going on as well as remembering, because like I said, the paranoia sits in, and it'd be like I always feel like somebody watching me. But then when you get into the psychedelic realm, as opposed to different forms of spirituality that have you doing all these forms of practices for years and years to experience stuff, even with the Inuits and the natives and indigenous tribes around the world that force people to like go through hardship, like go into the dark for weeks and stuff like that. That actually that works because they actually do see visions. But I mean, like somebody just telling you something. What I mean is somebody preaching to you something without actually showing you that is something here. Like people preach about God watching them, but yet they never seen God. So it's like this mental image that's made up in the mind that was never seen. But like psychedelics, they allow you to see exactly how you thinking about things in visual form, and it's wild because that's how I see us living now. Like everything I see around me is me thinking about something in visual form. So experience trips and mushroom trips for me in here is all the same goddamn thing. We just here. Yeah, thank you, H7 Polo. It is less thought. Less thought. I ran across that word randomly, and I was like, yo, that word is on point. Whole is whole of anything is greater than. Ah, that's similar. That's not the word I'm looking for. But that is a cool word to run into right now. Y'all want to see this quick? Organized whole that is perceived as more than the sum of its parts. Commonly associated with clarity. Understudy percentage understands that the whole of anything is greater than its parts. That is, the attributes of the whole are not deductible from analysis of parts in isolation. Yeah, life is life. Life is what it is. That's what I get out of that. Life is what it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's what it is. Life is what it is. We making it up as we go. It's so hard to talk with the headphones on. Girlfriend brought me these Bose noise phones. So I don't even got the noise canceling on. But as soon as you put these puppies on, I can't barely hear myself talk. It's like I don't know how loud I'm talking. I gotta hear myself talk to myself. You know how we tie. It's good. It's this other I forget his name. It's this comedian I watch. He do podcasts. He don't even wear headphones. He said it breaks it up so that it doesn't feel like he actually having a conversation. That light right here. Hey man, if the mic is too high, let me know. I can't hear myself. There we go. Test. Hey, hey, hey. All right. Yep, I was. I could instantly tell the difference. All right. We gonna do all the technical issues. Having some fun. Having some can't think. It's like I'm thinking to myself. All right, I just gotta hear y'all. We just gonna go like this. We're gonna rock it out like this. Gonna rock it out. Get some of this popping on. How are y'all feeling today? How are y'all feeling today? Anything on your mind that y'all want to tie on while I'm tying? We can always switch subjects, switch gears. Y'all could always come on the Discord and tie as well. This is a complete open forum. Oh yeah, the new year is coming. The new year is coming. And just like I said with the Great Conjunction when it came on, and everybody was saying they was gonna get their superpowers and stuff was gonna kick into gear. I like to always already be getting stuff into gear because that's how I am. And so when the moment arrives, I'm not all, oh man, I gotta get the gear, I gotta do this. Because I think when the stage is set, the stage was already set by somebody else. So if I'm part of the stage crew and I'm setting up the stage when the event happens, I'm part of the event, but I'm already past it. That's how I see the new year, the great conjunction and everything. Cause we've been working on this and I was looking around too. I was like, all right, is somebody about to fly today? Somebody gonna take off? Cause everybody was so anxious about I was looking on YouTube, I was on Facebook, everybody was saying, oh, my power's kicking in. I mean, my power's gonna kick in, or black people gonna be like this tonight, and like, oh, like the Naruto powers and the eyes turn blue. Like, here we go, time on. Woo, yeah. And I said all of that. I said people gonna be hyped up because of how we've been pressured for this year. And like, man, if we want to escape, we gonna find it. We going to hone in on it and think that it's actually true and that it's gonna happen and stuff. Like just like when I thought, and I know y'all had this experience. I heard True and somebody else mention this before. After a DMT trip, a mushroom psychedelic trip, thinking that we was gonna have like these powers like exactly as we seen them in the movie, like throwing fireballs out the hand and stuff like that. It still came in a whole nother form. That's why I'm still with it, and I'm gonna tie everything together. And really, I'm gonna tie everything together. But still, it's not like I'm just woo, then I'm just like floating and stuff like this. But yet I am. But you know what I'm tying on. You know what I'm tying on. So the aspirations, I think that was a huge manipulation, as already called out by people trying to get views and and just being who they are, really, just being who they are. But yeah, know anything about the gatekeeper? But yeah, I'm gonna get right to that, LaShawn. Thanks for the question. But the powers, I think, have been kicking in because when people talk about things more, things happen. Things unexpected happen. The things that you mostly talking about is really not what's going on, and there's other things behind the scenes going on. And when we talk about things so massively, it really is an awakening, or it really is a shift, or the next chapter in the book is going on now, where now people are not beating people up so much for thinking about having powers and stuff like that. Like the conscious state is still working itself, is working out the identity, so that eventually things powers and stuff is going to be more relevant, like fireballs and stuff. But yet powers, I think, are I know is they still here. We The sync is real. Y'all know how to tie, just tie, just tie, just tie. The sync is real. And that means so many things. It means in terms of mental telepathy. It means in terms of seeing events before they happen. Um yeah, yeah, seeing events before they happen, participating in events that happen, and then somebody else do the same thing. But it's wild. I can't describe it. I can't describe it. It just happens. But LaShawn, you said, do y'all know anything about the gatekeeper? Yeah, the gatekeepers of knowledge, the gatekeepers of the pathways in our mind. And which ones are you talking about specifically? Because I'm about to go into ones that unlock certain chapters of ideas in your mind, or like, hey, now this is what you're running off of, or now you were introduced this set of ideas. Now you can work off you're working off your simulation is working off of this idea now. Ambiguous images have two different perspectives, says Phil. Yeah, yep, they do. And that's why I was saying, with the magic and stuff, it's like people are like going wild and be like, man, I ain't got powers or it didn't work. I was looking at my cousin saying, like he a Christian, whole hardcore Christian. He's like, oh man, all these black people running around saying they gonna have powers, ha 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 ha. Ha. And I was still like, hey, I don't be laughing now, don't be laughing. But still, I see why you laughing. So it's all about the perspective. LaShawn, you said, I heard once you reach a certain level of consciousness, encounter them. Yeah, okay, yes, I know what you mean. The gatekeepers, what you'll see at a certain level, the certain gatekeeper going to lock and be like, hey, this is nothing but you. Well, along the way, there are certain gatekeepers. There are certain gatekeepers where you can there are certain gatekeepers that introduce you to new ideas. Like I would say music, the artists and musicians and things like that, they are gatekeepers. They appear as human beings, but the messages in the song, the messages in certain movies are from gatekeepers. And because you can unlock a lot of passages in your mind through movies, through movies and stuff like that, and in music, because they created a temple. They created a temple that comes to this world as a vibration, as tones of the music and stuff, or the way the movie is created. It's all vibration. It's all vibration. But I see it as a temple. And you enter the temple when you're watching a thing, and then you either going to answer the questions correctly or you're not. But sometimes you don't even know if you answered the question correctly or not. You don't even sometimes you don't even know what the question is. Like, I was just asked a question. Like, wait, I was asked a question 20 minutes ago. I didn't even know that was a question. Like, uh huh. Yeah, and another form, if you want to break it down in the form of the planets can be a form of gatekeeping, starting from like Mercury all the way out to Pluto. They all representations of the mind and unlock certain facilities of us, of finding self, all symbolism. Going from Mercury with the thoughts, then Venus, love, Earth, you know what goes on here. And Mars with the anger, not anger, but like passion and stuff like that. Like wartime energy. And then Mars, Saturn, Uranus. Oh. Oh wow. Is it Mars and then Saturn? Close? Yeah, you go through all the reigns of the planets and meet the generals and stuff that's there. Like Saturn is all about structure and stuff like that. And Tom, like Saturn controls Tom. You'll learn about that. Then going past Jupiter, get the experience in, get a whole bunch of like out there, like way out there experience. That's when I think things will start. You start questioning reality a lot more to people around you than just to yourself. Like, wait a second, running around shaking. Is this a simulation? because you're experiencing some real things, real stuff. So they signify have suppressed certain false beliefs. And Phil, you said like when you can't tell if something a pick, for instance, coming or going. Hmm, that's real. And Sean, you said so they signify you have suppressed certain false beliefs. I don't know if you suppress. I wouldn't say suppress certain false beliefs. What you mean by the what you mean by that? So they signify you have certain suppress certain false beliefs. Because I would say I'm bringing up all the real beliefs and all the things in front of me was false or illusion. And then I'm bringing up by interacting with the gatekeepers what's really going on. Even though too what's really going on is what's really in front of our face too. Because we hear, and what's unreal is probably beyond our is what's beyond our words to end with. So what's real and unreal all exist here. But I was trying to go through the term when you were saying false belief, a false belief, because I don't really think any belief can be false because once you believe in it, that's what's going to happen. Like, that's what's going to happen. If you believe in something, it's happening, it's occurring, it's already been occurring. But yeah, in every neck of the woods you go to, it's always going to be some kind of gatekeeper that's holding a treasure trove of knowledge or a treasure trove of experience for you to get your own knowledge from, really. But the way that
Gatekeepers.
yeah,
So would you say the gatekeepers are like a signal that you done leveled up in some aspect?
yeah, yep.
I'm just
Like,
asking for the build.
uh-huh. I was about to ask you.
That's what I would say, and the only reason I would say it or identify it like that personally, is because when you got gatekeepers, that means they holding the fort down. They blocking people from getting in and blocking from people from getting out. It ain't just a one-way street. They had a gate. That's an entrance and an exit. So you'd have to level up to some degree to even get to that door for them to open that door, just using it symbolically. So, I don't have too much info on gatekeeping other than what everybody else has. You feel me?
That's what we
But
got.
yeah,
That's what
that's
it
what I would say.
is.
It's a level up, man.
uh,
Welcome, they welcome you. You get to go in. But the gate is also a womb. So we gotta always understand the words we use. So if we say gatekeepers, that's the womb keeper. You hear me?
about to be birthed into something.
Exactly. Exactly. So, the gatekeepers is protecting something like the womb. It could be the universal womb, the primordial womb. It could be whatever it identifies with you. But when we use the words, we got to know what words we're using. Or we going to fuck around and get into a whole different spell of words. You dig?
Yep. Sean said appreciate it. Makes sense.
Yeah, Ty be on it, man. I be on it.
Yeah, we
I
own
be
it.
tying it.
And once you meet a gatekeeper, is no doubt about it.
Man, you meet gatekeepers in this realm too.
Uh-huh.
Those cats that
Where you
unlock
find them?
something for you. You run across a good conversation that tap into something that got you thinking about something that done changed up. That's a gatekeeper. Gatekeepers of knowledge, gatekeepers of energy, you know. All these different type of gatekeepers exist. In this realm and different realms. It's just in different realms it's different.
Hey, bro, did you hear anything? Did you hear what I said earlier?
About
Anything?
yeah, I heard.
Oh no,
I
I
was
was just
listening while I
testing.
was making breakfast. Yeah.
Oh,
I
no,
heard you
no.
about the noise canceling You couldn't
Oh
really
no, I
do
wanted
that.
to see if you heard what I said. I wanted to see if you just came up with that. I was like, yo, I said exactly the same thing. That must be what it is.
Hmm.
Like you run
Yeah,
across some in music and stuff like that.
absolutely,
I was like, yo,
absolutely.
yep. So the vibe is real. I think it's real
You know,
as
Big
usual.
Mama, grandma of the family, Big Mama. She a gatekeeper for sure, for sure. That's why they call her Big Mama. That's why your grandma or your family is called Big Mama. That's Big Mama. You know, your mama don't even disrespect Big Mama. You go over grandma's house, you respectful as hell. That's because she's a wise one, a wise woman, the wise one. So
it
there's
does
gatekeepers
come.
everywhere.
It does come in disguises too. Like with my
Absolutely.
grandma, I see as she's a gatekeeper of like tr- um a certain structure, but also a certain like a certain spirit that I attach my not attach
Mm,
myself to, but a certain like cause she's real religious. And she was the
mhm.
reason I was into the church and stuff because I saw how much she was. Oh yeah. But then
Right,
after
right.
a while, it was testing because I was like, oh, she into the church. So like, oh, that's not what I want to do. So forget all of this stuff. I'm atheist, stuff like that. But then I was still seeing her still seeing her as the light of the gatekeeper. Is
She
like
was.
she's
She
still
is.
on to something. Like the thing that
The
she
simple fact
unlocking.
that she made you, get into thinking outside of that realm shows
Mm-hmm.
you that she was the gatekeeper. No
And
matter if you disagree with her or not, she got that certain umph in your mind and your spirit to go further past that. She opened them gates for you.
go out of body. So now it's like I
Straight
don't
up.
I can't all the anger that I would have towards her is like having towards a gatekeeper and it's like, well, if you got this anger, then you won't be able to go through and experience this and that being mad about religion, stuff like that, because you cool
Mm-hmm.
with your grandmom, like you cool with her, you nice to her, you understand her mind, you want her to just live out her life as best as she can now. So that is the
Mm-hmm.
key. Let people live out as the best life that they want. Don't
You
overpower them.
see?
Still love them, just like my grandma. So,
See? You
so
see
that
the
was
game she
open the
gave you without
doors.
even trying.
The
She ain't even try to do that. That was just who she was. That's the power.
entity working through her, or the entity
Man.
that she is. Cause
Mm-hmm.
I say I be saying I used to be mad at people, bro. Like, cause I used to say that I see what you doing, but I I like I can see a layer beyond reality of what people are saying as opposed to what they're mouthing off with their lips. So
Mm-hmm.
so I would and my mom said this too. It was one time I was coming down from a trip and she was telling me and I was like, "Oh, wait, how did this music just start by itself?" But
What's
told
up,
me
Stephen
before.
Thomas, Prince Perel? We
Oh
see
wow,
y'all.
yeah, Stephen Thomas. It's been a minute. Welcome to the Psy Tai podcast and Prince Pearl Double O.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. Throw that Discord link in the chat for him. Y'all gave another. But the figure I think was the gatekeeper was a figure in dark
Dark
robes
Rose
whose face
face
I
I
couldn't
couldn't.
make out.
Oh yeah, that happens too. That's
Yeah,
a gatekeeper
yeah.
too. We just talking about the human aspect, but like I said, it was
Mm-hmm.
something working through my grandmom and on psychedelic experience. We literally encounter these forms, and you either can be
Mm.
scared of them and run away and think is like, oh man, and they be like, he's that person, or or it
He
is what
was
it
not
is, and you
with.
take the lesson. What's going on?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they
But
come
yeah,
in
they're always different
many
different
forms to
aspects.
test us.
Absolutely.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's all the game. When you say the test, it ain't a scary thing. I see it as just part of the next part of the game.
Just yeah,
And
just a part of it.
I mean,
If you
video
want to go
game
through that
too.
gate, you go on through that gate. If you don't want to, you ain't got to.
No, you can just play in the first level forever, just looking at the
That's it.
grass. Or
That floats your boat, then motherfucker float on.
that's one of my favorite lines. Whatever floats your boat, cause like literally, like what is going to float your boat? If this boat, you going to drown. Like
Man,
the boat.
Real. Let me throw the Discord in here for him.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah, I got you. I'm glad you went live. I was just about to go live. I woke up, had to handle some things. I'm like, shit, let me go live. And I seen my guy Ty live. I'm like, oh, we tapped in. We tapped in for sure. I'm glad you went live early, man.
But
But
yeah, the
that's the
gate.
Discord, y'all.
Yeah, join Discord. Y'all can come and talk, try things out
Ilster, I know you
vocally,
got something to say.
or you can come and post pictures. Even though y'all should be posting pictures on the Just Tainow website.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, as
Thanks.
well, going with K-Keeper, I just drunk some HC
Mm,
or wild berry shots. Real light compared to this.
right there. Got a little gift in the mail, some honey, THC honey. Said,
Oh,
I
that's a
just be
lot.
drinking that shit though. I don't know what to put the honey with, so I just drink the shit.
I had some honey for a whole year. I had a big jar and I just kept on taking
Yeah.
little fingerfuls and that tastes good. I take a little more, just be out
Mm-hmm.
zoning.
For sure. Oh man, where my lighter? Can't have good herb with no light. But what's the politics today, Ty? What we chopping it up on, man? What you
Making
have
it
on your mind?
I'm making it up as I go. My neighbor had asked me, "What you gonna tie on?" I said, "I'm gonna just talk
Shit.
about Christmas, Horace, and then smoke some
Uh,
tree."
uh. How was everybody's Christmas? You know,
But
how was
no,
the Christmas?
it was lovely. It was lovely. It was all set up. I was telling everybody it was all set up. We did open gifts really late, but my girlfriend set up this special thing for her. Open it up one by
Mm,
one so she moment things like that.
mm-hmm. Dig
But
it, I
yeah,
dig it.
the yeah, it's lovely. And as well, I'm be making my shirts by myself. Tell me how coincidentally her mom brought a shirt press machine. Well, not coincidentally, she brought
Oh,
it for her sister
oh,
so that she can supposedly help me out with stuff. I'm like, I still want to
that's
do it all
dope.
myself, but yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. I used to do that a long time ago, make shirts and customize shoes. And it's a good business, man. It really is. I was making a couple hundred every couple hours. It's like, yeah, I'll do this. And then I moved, I moved my situation and stopped doing it pretty much. But that shit, you gotta be it ain't just about, you gotta be a creator. Because you gotta come up with designs. You gotta come up with what matches what color shirt and everything. It takes a lot. So salute, man. Salute to everybody who out here creating on whatever level you creating. As long as you creating it, salute. You know.
How do you feel when you
I just
create?
got a beat maker. I just got my little studio set up, so I'll be making
Oh,
intro music and background music, and I got to get used to the because I used to make beats on Fruit Loops,
Fruity
and I
Loop.
just downloaded Fruit Loops again, and it's like rocket science now. I gotta re-figure out, hey man, how the fuck did I do this back in the day? God damn it. But yeah, so and to be honest, just Ty and True Life inspired that for real. Cause I'm doing
Okay.
my own creations with, books and yeah, books pretty much. And symbols. But I wanted to do something physical. So I'm gonna be making beats and just that way we ain't gotta worry about copyrights and shit like that.
Yeah,
So if
we're
anybody need an intro beat, holla at your boy in like a month, cause I don't know how I'm doing none of that shit right now.
No, we all in this. We're an
Absolutely.
we're an engine a whole powerhouse, whole company. Like
Real
even within
man.
our own individual selves. Now we come together and making massive, bigger companies, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how it always been. And because I heard True talking in one of his shows saying he heard people saying you shouldn't make money off of psychedelics or like make a business or anything around it.
Who said
And
that?
my True was saying how just people say in the air. I was like, I
Okay.
encountered those airy thoughts before, and I got out of that because I was like,
Mm.
everything around us is built off of psychedelics. Our magazines,
Uh-huh.
our fashion, our buildings, our internet, our TVs, everything has been built off of psychedelic use. Like people
Mm-hmm.
going into realms of imagination and bringing something back. Because we even have the endogenous going on. But as well, like in the circles, people are taking, everybody gets high. Everybody gets high in some form of
Mm-hmm.
fashion. Even if they don't get high, like ingest a foreign substance into their body to a higher state of conscious anymore. They once did, and that's probably most 9 times out of 10. That's the reason why they believe in what they talking about so much because they had some wild experience at some point in their life, and then they're like, "Yo, y'all don't believe me, but this is what's this happened,"
Right,
or they
right.
just like, "This is just how I dress. This is just who I am," and then how they are just creates waves in the world. Because then once you know how it is, Oz, once you really figure out who you are, see that you are the Oz behind the screen and the Oz playing in
Absolutely.
the field, and you like, hey man, let's do the do. Like, got powers, superpowers.
Uh, just had
How
to
would you see
realize it.
that? Yeah. He says Steve Jobs
Steve
got a lot of his
Jobs.
ideas from LSD, LOL. Yeah, Stephen Thomas. And down there in Silicon Valley, King Oz and a lot of
Huh?
the older Psy Tai podcasts when it was called like Psy Tai live stream. That was
Mm-hmm.
all I was able to. That was all I was tying on. I was telling
Mm-hmm.
people about the Silicon Valley people microdosing, and getting on the coming up with all these applications in code in different ways, like seeing life as art and then working with it as an
That's
artist
real.
and then creating everything we see now.
You step out when you take when you take trips, you can see the codes, man. You can see the
Literally.
codes to everything, like for real, for real.
What's
All
your
you gotta do is
experience with
try
it?
to. All you gotta do, I wish I knew this then, but when I was seeing the codes of the so-called net or dome over the sky in the sky, all I had to do was really take a pen and pad and write down the codes I seen, and then when I got done with my trip, put it into play. It probably would have turned out something crazy. I seen 1 zeros and waves. If I'd have just wrote them codes down, man, ain't no telling what that would have been. Because I was just watching the X Files. I'll be watching X Files on Hulu or whatever, and they took an alien like tracker device out of somebody and they ran it across. When you go grocery shopping and they scan your food on the scanning
Yeah.
thing, she put the little chip or whatever, the alien chip on it, and it turned into a code where the price would pop up on the little screen. It was all code. It's like it's just like that. Now all you got to do is take that code you read off of there, put it into a computer, and see what happens. Same shit. That simulation shit. Like, what is it? It's just ran by numbers. It's ran by ones and O's. Those are creation codes. One is a penis. Zero is a womb. Ones and zeros is creation. That's why they're creator
Wong, wong,
codes.
wong, wong, wong.
That's good game for anybody who ain't know that.
Uh-huh. Hungry baby.
But absolutely, these little psychedelics, if that's what you like to call them and shit,
I never
them
heard
ain't
of
nothing
that.
but keys, man. You never
That
heard
was
that?
that was incredible.
Oh man, what's up, Phil? Absolutely,
Hey,
good
hey,
game on the
Phil.
regular.
What's
You
up,
know,
Oz? What's up, Ty? That was incredible. Yeah, the
absolutely.
womb and the phallus, the one and the
That's what
zero.
it is. Yep.
So
And yeah.
Binary. That's bi and Aries.
yeah,
Anyway, that's some good game that's gonna be in your book.
yeah. Okay, okay.
I don't want to
Uh-huh.
give up too much.
No, because then you know the now quantum computers can compute ones and zeros at the same time. You know that's what we doing
Got
Mm-hmm.
with
to.
energy. We got all
Yeah,
the
they
energy
got
going
to.
in us.
LaShawn said, "Did you interpret the codes as a language?" Yeah, it was a creation code. I was looking at the code of creations. It's just at the time I was tripping and I was in trip mode. I wasn't in. Let
Is
me
an
read these
astonishment.
codes. I was more so don't look up no more. If y'all go to my Soul Scientist YouTube channel,
Damn.
my trip story is on there.
But you
Yeah.
said something. Everybody's always trying to wishing they could bring something back from the other side. But it ain't like you usually can't read a lot. It's all symbols. But
But see, I read
yeah,
symbols.
that's a small. That's one of the most basic symbols. And if you can bring back a string of code, you should be able to run it through a damn
Exactly.
computer, and something should pop out.
Exactly.
Yo,
It
bro,
should translate to something.
they had the Mandelbrot
Mhm.
equations. Y'all know what that is? Fractal
Yeah.
curve.
Mandela set.
They had the equations before they had the technology to present it, and the guy was trying to do it on paper, and he's like, "Oh, this gonna take forever." And then when the computer was made, they put it in. It was like, "Oh, here it is."
Early.
Yeah, until they got computers, they couldn't. The dude knew what he was trying to do, but he couldn't translate it until computers were created. Yeah.
So it should always been here, always been around. We just ain't know how to work with it.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
I'll be right
Just
back.
like you know when you first have a trip and you see them geometric patterns. If you an intuitive person, you like this shit is real.
Absolutely.
You can't see it in your regular state, but you see it so good on a trip. You like, wait a minute, this is here all the time, and we just can't see it.
All the time. It's here all the time. We just don't be tapped in. We just don't be tapped in. We think, and I think for now it's true, but just for conversation's sake, we think, we got to trip out to be able to see these things. But the psychedelics just enhance certain parts of our minds. If we can do that on a regular or learn how to get to that point, we don't need psychedelics. And I don't think psychedelics like that idea. I think psychedelics like that. We fuck with them like that. The Mandela Effect. It literally was about what King God said. I haven't seen the Mandela Effect, but I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna definitely check it out. Yeah, I ain't seen the Mandela. Well, I don't know if I seen it. Let me Google it and see if I have.
It's the kind of thing where it seems like things in history have been changed.
Oh yeah, I ain't
Like
see this, but I want
remember
to see
things
it.
a certain way, and then
Yeah, Bernstein Bears and all that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars
Bernstein
when
Bears.
Darth Vader's like,
Yeah.
Luke, I am your father, and now when you look at the
Mm-hmm.
movie, it says, no, I am your father. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Well, it's
clearly
called the
Luke.
Mandela Effect because they reported Mandela dead.
That motherfucker was dead.
Yeah, they reported him dead, and then boom, he wasn't dead. But a lot of people they reported dead, but they named it after him.
Remember when True said that John Witherspoon, was dead, and we was like, no, he not. It was after he came back from an experience, I think DMT, and we kept saying he's still alive. Like I just watched the podcast yesterday, like 3 days ago, and he's like, no, he died. Like for real, he was gone. And then, and then later on, he did pass away. Well, went to another world.
I remember when they reported him being dead a long time ago. They said he died, but he wasn't dead. Then he died later.
Trying to throw it out in the atmosphere.
Yeah, they report a lot of people dead in the news, and you'd be like, "Damn, that's messed up." And then you see them like, "Dead? No, I ain't dead." Like, huh? Yeah, it's a trip. That Mandela Effect, I've seen a lot that I didn't agree with. I remember shit a different way. And
remember anymore?
Forever. Yeah.
The dude in the movie saw the codes and typed it in. There we go. That's all we need to do, LaShawn. I was just in trip mode. I ain't want to look up no more. I ain't want to look up at all. That shit tweaked my head, man. Real. So now I take micros. I can't wait to take a bigger dose, but I always have my kids with me, so I can't really do that. I'll be mad too. Like, damn, man. I got shrooms for days and all types of. I got caps. I got regular shrooms. I got them all. Can't take them bitches. Ugh.
I say the same thing. And then when I do take, I don't say exactly how you say, but then when I do take a little dose, and I wish I would have taken a bigger dose, they come for me like an hour and a half into. I'm like, oh, good thing I didn't take a bigger dose.
Like, hold
Oh
on,
shit, I
wait a
gotta
minute.
go. Yeah, I gotta. Damn, I gotta go way over here. I want to. Oh,
What's up,
yeah,
Phil? How
man.
you
But
been,
no,
man?
that's how. Yeah,
I'm cool.
Dig it, I
the
can
g-
dig it.
but that's how we gonna be doing changing reality with machines and stuff. That's the next step. Like we already doing it in other spaces that people can't understand or visit. But it's like I see technology as a way for people to visit our imagination. I think it's technology in general, like even with acrylic paint and
Mm,
the other worlds and stuff. But now we
mm.
got this new code to work with, like in ones and zeros and Python, HTML5s, and all this other cool. So we can make websites and virtual reality worlds.
All this shit is targeted and based on the human spirit, soul, and mind. All of
As
it.
we
All
are
this
right now.
technology is wrapped around your spirit, your soul, your mind. That's the
They said
blueprint.
a
You are the blueprint.
few years back they said that they had recorded parts of somebody's dream, and they was playing it back on a video screen. But it wasn't,
Uh,
it wasn't entirely. But they was like they could get bits and pieces of dreams. I was like, that's scary.
I
You know
think
what
I've
I'm
seen that
saying?
yeah.
on Discovery Channel. Or
You know,
Yeah.
certain parts of our body resonate different frequencies, hertz, and hertz. I mean, I got it on one of my pictures I sent over to Just Ty's channel. But let me see if I can find it. Put it in the chat.
it's something right here. It say Japanese. I never seen this one. This one say Japanese dream recording machine.
Here we go. I'm about to
Have
put
you
it in
ever
your
woken up from a
put it in your
dream only
general
to
Just Ty. But if you look
Yes.
close, I put the hertz that each body part uh, resonates. All you got to do is tap in with these energies, and it's one of my symbols I made. So your mind is at 10 hertz, your heart is at 7.8 hertz. Come on, your blood moves at 0.5 hertz. These are frequencies. It's right in the general if you want to check it out.
I got it
Different
blown up right
frequencies.
now.
Okay. But we got to look at
What's
this and understand if I can get a frequency tapped into the whatever frequency you I want to tap into, all I got to do is make that frequency. Now I done put you under a trance and you can't help it.
what's the
All they
term for creating a symbol? Create your own.
create, I don't know.
It's a term for like
Okay.
creating a symbol of your own.
'Cause I done
Bobby
created a couple words of my own using
Bobby
symbols,
Hemmett and
random
them talk
symbols.
about it. Bobby Hemmett and Panic and them talk about
I
creating
don't fuck with Panic,
a
not because
symbol of
he ain't
your
no
own.
good or nothing, just because I never ran across his channel to stop and check him out. But I
Well,
hear his name being brought up a lot. Bobby Hemmett, I fuck with
Bobby
for real,
Hemmett
for
is
real.
the OG.
Right,
Panic
right.
came up under him.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
know
didn't
who
know
he is,
that.
but I just never ran across his channel.
I heard a couple Panic videos.
Okay.
Like smile, bitch.
They
But that's
they
what it
they do
is, man.
they do book lists and they tell you all their experiences just like people tell you they trip reports, but they do book lists and they like, they learned all these things and they like, don't take our word for it. The books and see what you go and learn. You might come back and teach us something that we didn't know. They like, you ain't got to
Mm.
just believe us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They give long book lists. They like all these damn books, esoteric books. Some of the books ain't in print, and they be
Mm-hmm.
doing like you do, making your book. They'll print the whole book out for you. They like, you can't buy this book nowhere because they won't sell it no more. They like,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's it. You can create your own language. I created a couple words. I created the word door and soul using just random well, not random, but different symbols. You can all, I think it's important for all of us to create our own language. And I'm starting mine, so I recommend anybody. When you break down certain words, you see each symbol of that word makes that word what it is. Literally.
you know
Literally.
what?
You look at the word door, Door. Each one of those symbols that we call letters literally mean the word. When you look at the D, that's a mound. When you look at the mound, you're looking at the belly, the womb. You can go to etymology and find out. When you look at the double O, you're looking at the vesica Pisces.
Huh?
That's the womb. That's the fish that Jesus Eos was
Definitely
in.
is.
The
Yeah.
vesica. Listen to it, but listen to it. C, Ka. Okay? Now you write that down and you break that down. Pi, infinite. Seas, the waters, the infinite waters. Vesica Pisces. And then you look at the R. That's an Egyptian symbol for the Ka, the spirit. And what is the door?
Mm-hmm.
A portal to the soul. The soul is the light. So the words are made up for not on accident. Door, just a simple example. Each letter gives to the fact that the womb is a doorway or the gatekeeper of the soul.
Back to what we were talking about before.
You know how I do.
Uh-huh.
We look at soul. We can look at the word. Man, we could do this all day. And this is a part of the game because everything is symbol. Everything is symbol. Man is symbol. So when you know how to read those symbols on your trips, or in general, when you're reading the book, you got to know how to see right. Not just read. Anybody can read. My kids can read. You got to know how to see. I hear
Yep.
my playback is killing me. That's funny.
I'm thinking of first through their stages, and
You look at the word computer. There you go, man.
and being
Cuz we could
able,
do this all day.
I'm thinking of them
Computer. Stop playing.
trying to come up with stuff like would they at first know the story behind the word, or they just literally
All the language, the letters we got are originally African, of course. They were passed on, then passed on, then passed on, converted. You, King Gosh, you confirmed how I looked at words with that expression. Absolutely, LaShawn. And this all this the symbol breakdown is a part of the book that I wrote. Anybody can get, but I agree 100%. We on the same vibes. Everything, every word, they're put together for a specific spell. You got to know how to read, though. You feel me?
Yep. I remember first running across that with the word rocks and stuff. That rock is a rock because the way it's spelled. Like you said,
Yeah,
with doors.
yeah. When you look at the portal, that's a port of L. Come on, cuz, cut it out. So we got to know binary, bi, and Aries. You got to know what you're looking at. That's your Vesica Pisces again. So binary code is always going to be creative because it comes from creation. Nasty, nasty. Let me take a sip of this dank honey real quick, though.
There we go. Got this soundboard I keep forgetting about.
That's dope too, by the way.
A lot of East Coast cats laugh at E40. They like it seemed goofy to them as he's making up words, but
Oh man, he's advanced.
It might not be that scientific to them, but he gave himself power making up his
Man,
own
didn't he?
words. Yeah, he gave himself power. No matter how they look at it, he built an empire.
Stop playing. He
making
knew
up
the power of words. That he's known for that, and that got him popping.
Yeah.
Well, even more.
Yeah, the Midwest, the South, you know what I'm saying, and the West Coast, he's a legend. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They vibe with it. You know what I'm saying? If you're from the East and you don't understand E40, go to the Midwest and be at the barbecue and drinking that Carlos Rossi and they bumping that 40. Then you'll get the vibe. You know what I'm saying? You understand when you're in a different environment where the words mean something. You know.
Yeah, words are
Power,
words are that wild, and a lot of these rappers, like you said, E40 Phil, are like real powerful magicians. That's why they in the position they are right now on how they use on just being who they are.
Yeah.
And that's what we
They
found
threw out
ourselves.
convention. They threw out
Yeah.
convention. Yeah.
Yep. I'm thinking all the traps that we was in and got out of, and and like even speaking English, like, even speaking English. But that's how we was born, so we can't beat ourselves up that much. But all our language and what I'm getting into is self-limiting terms that we grow up in, especially when we grow up in the hood and poor and stuff. We got a lot of self-limiting things that we put on ourselves because we heard it said in a certain lingo. But then you hear somebody say it in a different way, and you from somewhere else, you're like, oh, that's how I can look at this, or oh, you can flip it around like this,
Look,
like
I just
like
gave
how
a
I
good
flipped
like.
around conversations, like from conversation. A
Hmm.
conversation is combining your mind with your heart, see what your gut mind is saying, and then letting whatever come out come out. Not like to me, a conversation probably just lost in your mind, so you're just gonna tell me what you're thinking and plotting out, not really what you feel. And then some people
Hmm.
just talk for hours and hours about what they feel and don't really structure nothing together. So or so it's like putting both together. Or like feel lost and hopeless, things like that. Like, no, don't get too lost in the heart. We still got some structure with the mind and our gut us going, know that we here.
Gotta remember. It's all about remembering. But yeah, I just put a little breakdown of the word water in the chat just to show these words aren't put together for no reason. You gotta remember the Greeks, the freaky faggot Greeks, that's what they are. They the ones who gave us this language.
Big
And
bundle of
understand that the language, that alphabet is alpha beta. The alpha beta is put in an order. The alphabet tells a story. Those who have my book, I put Phil, you gonna have so much shit in yours, cuz
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna be getting this soon.
you gonna have so much shit. But we just gotta understand these words speak spells, carry vibrations. Why is this important? Because we talk about psychedelics. That's energy and vibrations, different type of frequencies. You gotta make you gotta be able to decipher this reality in order to even sustain yourself in any other one. These are levels. It's levels. How you gonna get to the gatekeeper if you can't make it to the gate? You don't know how. You think it's just I'm gonna take a trip and
Won't
get to the
even get a
gate.
glint.
Man,
Or you'll be brought to the gatekeeper that reveals stuff to you, but
the
at the
Joker,
same time, yeah, the Joker. At the same
not the
time, you
jester,
just
the
like
Joker.
messed up and like, oh man, I don't even remember any of the trip anyway, too.
Look at
Then
you,
the Men
right?
in
Come
Black
on.
come. You know, a lot
You
of people
can't
don't
decipher the
remember
symbolism.
anything. No, no decipher. Just like I don't even know what I seen or any
Yup.
remembrance of it. It's like seeing an art piece one time. Like, can you describe that art piece again if it's not resemblance of anything
Yeah.
you ever seen before?
No, I can't. All right.
It was some red
I
and
was
blue in there.
Yeah.
I was
I
telling
remember some
True the other
colors.
day though, since being in all these conversations with y'all, I can decipher my dreams better. I can remember them better, and I can
Mm-hmm.
decipher them better. You know what I'm saying? I have a totally different understanding when I dream because I ain't been tripping. But when I had dream, I done had some hell of a dream after I'm talking to y'all, and I'm like, they've become more lucid,
You
where I
get
can
it.
actually,
Right.
yeah,
More
I'm
tapped
I'm
in.
I'm yeah, I'm more comfortable. You know, you can have a dream and everything is shaky. You can't
Mm.
focus on nothing. Things are changing and it just gets real wild. But since all these conversations that we've been having, I've had more lucid dreams where, damn, where I realize quicker as
Mm.
soon as I'm there, like, oh shit, I'm dreaming. You know,
That's dope.
yeah. And they've become more lucid. I even smoked some weed and had some fucking visuals. I was like, why the fuck is this happening? I
What kind of
never, you know,
visuals?
that's not, yeah, that's not normal. Not at least for me. You know what I'm saying? I got high one time after we came off alive, and I was like, what the fuck? I was seeing some little visuals like in a grid, like a pattern, like I did some fucking psychedelics. I was like, how in the fuck is this happening? They weren't real strong. They were faint, but they
I'll
were
be
there.
right
I
back.
was
Hmm.
like, this is a trip.
Now, when my girlfriend first smoked weed like 5 years ago, she was seeing colors and stuff in front of her,
Mm-hmm.
and she like waving her hand around. Yo, I was like, right there. You don't see this? A tree is a psychedelic. It is messing with our mind. It's not messing with our minds, but
Yeah,
unlocking things in our minds all the time.
yeah.
I used to think we just so used to it that we blocked a lot of things out. Cause at the shrooms, I was getting like when I smoked, things happen differently. Not like, oh, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
high and settled and stuff. It's like, oh, I'm on a vision quest. I'm journeying somewhere. And that's
Yeah.
how they made weed out in the movie.
Yeah. remember Craig was tripping that Friday when he heard the dog, that little ceramic dog, like, "Arf, arf." He was like, "What? Oh man, I'm tripping."
Yeah, I used to think that all of that was weird. I was like, man, we don't do that. Like, what are they talking about?
Uh-huh.
But it is doing that. I think that's why if people that smoke just get tuned into the culture of like trippy things, even if it's not like highly tuned to reality, you like to listen to crazy stuff when you high. Like, yeah, this is what's going on. This is real.
Well,
But yeah,
some people that just smoke every day, all day, they so used to it that just becomes a reality. It don't seem any different.
yeah, that's how I am. That's why I got a lot of different things going on. I got dabs. I make oils because I gotta keep
Yeah.
experiencing just different kinds of highs. But it's always cool and
Uh,
it's always something different. I just got this vaporizer days ago, so I can hit some dabs and get into. And this the
yeah.
dabs is different than the L because when I smoke a L, it's like my mind is more clutter. It's not cluttered, but more is going on that I have to like. That is more of a I don't know. It's like a body thing. Like it's a
The
relaxing.
dab probably take you deeper to
Yeah,
a
it
different
does.
zone where you don't have as many distractions. It take you down to something deeper.
There we go. That's how it is. Cause
Yeah.
I be feeling all uplifted and stuff. Like, oh, I feel high. Like I don't feel like I just want to go to sleep or just sit down. I feel my
Yeah.
cerebral is pulsating.
Right. Yeah. Have you vibrating higher than just smoking a blunt.
Yeah. So I've been working
I
with
hear
that because I want to get work with my memory because I'll be forgetting things, especially when I'm live and stuff. And I'm like, yo, I know what I'm talking about, but I'm just
you.
stoned
Yeah.
to
Can't
shit.
grasp the terms. Yeah. Like, damn, it's on the tip of my tongue.
So I've got the oils going on. So when I'm working or even when I'm studying now, like listening to YouTube tutorials, I can remember what they
Yeah.
said at the end. And like it's been
Yeah.
helping me because I'm getting into building these virtual worlds and games and stuff and learning the codes and everything. It's a really a art form. So I want to make sure I'm able to fully realize it. Because what you said earlier about being able to experience more lucid. I was looking up the word
Yeah.
lucid, and it was from the Latin word lux, and the other Latin word lucere. So the lux means light, and the other lucere means shine. So light shine. I'm like, huh? It means light is shining in the other world. Or the other word they said was express clearly.
Yeah. Acuity. You know, things you could have a dream. Average dream is not really focused. You know, but a lucid dream really it feel as real as this world.
Have you had lucid dreams in the past?
Yeah, but not it's like it's not expected. You know what I'm saying? Like have a dream, they're all kind of shaky and then boom, one out of you know what I'm saying, 10 might be.
Gotcha.
But they say with practice and awareness, you can have more lucid.
Good. Good. I learned that. I started the lucid dreaming when I was looking into Wicca and stuff growing up. And they was talking about the Book of Shadows, writing down your dream right, about what happens for it. And I didn't know it would like make you stronger. They just was,
Oh, you know something I
oh,
had to
there you go.
realize too after that when I had the experience and I wanted to do it again, something that I realized not to be hokey. The time when I recently I had a really lucid dream. I had took some melatonin to go to sleep.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. That maybe that had an effect on it. It made it more stable. You know what I'm saying? So
Some
I'm
people
like,
do take
okay.
melatonin or
Yeah,
lucid.
it's a sleep aid. Yeah. But I had, me and True was talking about, I was like, man, and I was attributing it just to all the conversations we have. And I still attribute some of it to that. But I also did take melatonin when I went to sleep because I couldn't really sleep. and I needed to get some rest. And I was like, oh, I forgot that part. You know, it held me down like a sleeping aid. So I was really in a good deep sleep.
I think it's the never-ending story. Is everything all together. LaShawn said,
Yeah.
"How much melatonin did you take?"
Uh, the pills I got are 3 milligrams, and I took like three of them, so that was like 9 milligrams. But I've seen melatonin different. Like those are they're 3 milligram pills. But my sister-in-law had just bought them for me because they was couponing. And I know feel like melatonin, so she just bought them. But they have them at 5 milligrams and 10 milligrams, so they have them stronger. That's why I took three of them because they only 3 milligrams. And then the last time I took some, I took 15 milligrams. I'm like, shit, if this has something to do with that lucid dream, I'm going deep. I know they come in bigger pills. They come in 5 and 10, 15 milligrams. She brought me 3 milligrams just being nice. Like, we got these for you, Phil, here.
Uh-huh.
So the last time I took about 15 milligrams, nothing happened though. I didn't have a lucid dream, so I ain't figured it out.
Figure it happened.
I like to have a lucid dream every time I dream.
Hey, what's your other?
And I did set intentions before the dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it does come down to the intention and rehearsal of going through it and remembering that you went through it. And because I would take a stem sometimes right before I go to sleep, or I would wake up and then take a stem and go back to sleep. I was doing this a lot more last year. Now I had the most lucid dream ever. And it would be
Yeah.
surprising. I was just getting training in, then we'll come and talk about it, and it would just just
Yeah.
like my psychedelic experience, how you said coming back, it would just
Yeah.
reaffirm what I was going through in the other world. So it's like my mind is just in one place now instead of thinking it's over here, now I'm over there. It's like I'm here and then I experience
Yeah.
different things. Like I'm outside of all of this. Now I see myself figuring out all of these different realms that I can pop up in.
But and the feeling of having a lucid dream, the more times you have actual lucid dreams, you gotta remember that feeling. And probably the more you can remember the feeling, you don't need those controls. You don't need to smoke or take a micro dose or take melatonin if you remember feeling. You know what I'm saying? Then you like be looking for that feeling when you go to sleep. Like if I sense that feeling, that's what I need to grab onto because that's how I feel when I lucid dream. You train your mind to remember like what it felt like.
Yep. And you know what it feels like to me? It feels like um my most I would say I'm trying to not use a bad term toward it, but my most like back thoughts. I would say my most
Yeah,
skits thoughts in the back that I think to myself self. When I see those thoughts playing out in my dream, well, in that world, I recognize that I'm dreaming. Like I'm at the point now where I can hear myself think, like I can comprehend while I'm over there and thinking stuff like that. And then I'll be
yeah,
remembering that I thought about this dream or that the way that this appearing, I know that I'm in another world now because of how things are moving or how things popped up. Like, wait, this doesn't just usually happen. Or,
yeah,
or oh, my dad here. Oh, yeah. What? Or not like what, but oh, just going with it. I would start
yeah,
thinking about my dad in this life, like, oh yeah, because it was my dad appeared in my dream a couple weeks ago, and he was with some girl, and we was going out to eat. But he was like, he had said, all right, so we all going to treat ourselves out to eat, and I was like, wait, you ain't going to pay for us? I was like, oh, it's cool. I'm just here to have fun with you right now. So I still had the thoughts of him not being here in this room, but the fact that he was there, I just knew where I was dreaming.
yeah. I told True that I was talking to this delivery in that in the beginning. He had made a delivery to my crib and he was trying to leave. And I was talking to him, telling him something, and then I realized if I'm dreaming, then this cat is part of my mind. And he don't want to hear this because it's me talking to myself. Why are you telling yourself something that you already know? And at that moment, he disappeared. And not like it was like I blacked out. I was in a room, I was talking to him, he was at the door trying to leave, and when I realized, you're talking to yourself. He was gone, the door was closed, and all the lights was out in there. But I still knew that I was dreaming. I said, okay, the door is over there. Ain't no, why are you wasting time talking to him? You talking to yourself. He already knows all this because it's you. And then I walked out the door, and I was in a house. It was my house, but a house I'd never been in, but I was familiar with it. I knew where the kitchen was, I knew where the living room was, and I moved there. And I was, realizing like all of this is in my mind, but it was real solid, really real, and I was like, I got to remember this feeling. So, as soon as possible, I try to figure out if I'm dreaming. Like, wait a minute, and then I can move around and. I don't want to waste time not knowing that I'm dreaming, fumbling around. And by the time I figure out I'm dreaming, it's over with. I'm trying to figure out as soon as possible, you're dreaming. Look at this. It's really solid. It's real as the world that you came from. Then I can get more out of it and used to the experience,
That's what we had to do when we came here. We just forgot about it.
Yep.
As soon as we got here, we was told a name. All we was doing was kicking and screaming. Like, oh, who are you people? What is going on here?
Yeah.
I remember being high
life
one.
is psychedelic. They like all of life. This existence is psychedelic.
It is. Life is a trip. Life is a trip.
Mhm.
Life is the trip. I remember one time waking up to the like re-waking up, like I just jumped in my body again, and I was like, oh gosh, I have hands. I said, oh, I can use these hands to touch things and grab things, and I was so excited about it all day. Like even I wasn't even visually like hallucinating. It just
Yeah.
had this thought that I couldn't shake off. It was like I have hands. Like yo.
Mhm. I
And that's
like
how I
waking
get
up
in the
like the movie
dream.
Inception, waking up from dreaming, and then try to go to the bathroom or something, and something crazy happened, and you like, wait a minute, I'm still dreaming. Waking up in a dream and thinking you awake, you still in a dream, you just have to wake up again. That is the weirdest feeling. That is the weird, but not having no control over it, or not recognize it. I'm trying to be when I'm dreaming, I'm trying to recognize it as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, that's the key. My bad. I was sharing this to on the disc, but no, that's the key, and it does. That's why I'm glad that we're able to talk and we got the podcast and stuff for people in training because there's going to be a lot of people out there that's going to be it already is waking up to a lot of things and experiences, and it remind you pay attention to X-Men.
Oh yeah,
Remember when they would wake up, the teenagers would wake up to their powers and stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh man, what
yeah,
is going on?"
yeah,
And then they parents
yeah.
and stuff be like, "I don't trust this person anymore. I don't know who you are anymore."
Terrified of.
Yeah, that's like simply waking up the experiences. Like I said, like, oh, I got hands, like using to touch things. Like that was a real experience for me. Like coming, seeing how lucid this reality is, as much as other realities are in dream, as we'd say, is dream world. Like this is
Yeah,
just as much as of a dream, but we just
yeah.
so
Because
much in it. Uh huh.
sometimes in a dream you don't feel your feet, you don't see your hand. You're moving
Sometimes.
around and you're looking around. You might not you can't feel the floor. You sometimes in an average.
Yeah, I'd say I've seen
In a,
my hand. I could see my hands and stuff
when it
after a
becomes
while.
lucid, feel
Mm-hmm.
everything. It's like
Yeah.
visual. Yeah.
It does get like that. As I'm saying, it really does. And that's why I'm seeing I play a lot in virtual reality Phil, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing how this is developing in the same way that you develop that you
Yeah, your
develop
mind.
dream techniques. Yeah, that you
Yeah, your
develop your damn
imagination.
mind.
Yeah, yeah,
We working our way up there. Like right now, Boneworks is a game out there, and another game that I want to buy so I can play it for everybody and experience it with y'all is Half-Life Alexa. And those developer companies, they made it so like objects and stuff don't just necessarily blend through each other when you pick them up and like touch them. Like in early VR, couldn't even pick
yeah,
up stuff. And then later in VR, they made it so that you can pick up stuff. But like, say you got a table, like it won't interact with the table; it would just go straight through the table. So now they developing programs because people playing in this realm a lot more. So they saying, "Oh, well, now we got to get it. So now when you hit this object, it's a collision. It's a box collider. They call it a box collider, so we can't go through it." And now they got it. They working on the projectiles and the trajectory of like bullets and stuff like that and reload times and stuff like that. And now they working with the sounds, trying to get the sounds so that you feel more immersed. That's the word,
yeah,
the immersion.
yeah. So
That's the VR
they
thing.
had a 3D. They got 3D microphone, so they can, instead of a sound just coming at you in your ears all the time, it can feel like it's in front of you, it's behind
Mm-hmm.
you, it's up above you. You know what I'm saying? Sounds down by your feet, so you look down. You know what I'm saying? It can be behind you to the left. You know, when they making them, they use 3D microphones and they can put the sounds in 3 dimensional space in all the different places in the space instead
Yeah,
of just coming directly left and right at
3D spatial audio.
you.
I
Yeah,
was looking into that when I was developing the virtual world. I had to look into that so that the sound can play right when people walk into it. But yeah, that's and Piano Key pointed out another sound thing they working on where you put it on your chest like a vest and it
oh yeah, I
vibrates through
got
your
one.
stomach and stuff. Oh, how's that?
That's oh man, it's incredible. You know, they came out with a strap first. You just wear it across your, like if you have a shoulder bag and shit, or you know a bag that goes across your shoulder. It's a strap like that, and then you know, and it's haptic feedback vibrations. Video games, you know what I'm saying, you can listen to with them. Then they came out with the vest. And there's some other companies that made the vest, but the ones we were talking about was made by a company called Whoosh. And I got the first generation of the strap, and it just on a simple terms, like at night in my apartment, I don't really bump music past like 10 o'clock because I got neighbors up under me, and the way it bump, it's like listening to a subwoofer with headphones, but you ain't really disturbing nobody. You know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
it's knocking, and you get to feel when you feeling a bass like that, you feeling different vibrations of the music. You feeling something that you don't even, you know, you can have nice subs in your house or your car or whatever. You might feel it in the car, you always hear it if you got subs, but in the house, you know, it's just reverberating off the floor and the ceiling and shit, but you feeling this directly on you. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even think till he was talking about it with binaural beat shit and all of that. I never even thought to use that.
God, tell us what happens when you do it.
Yeah, I got you know yeah, I never you know the different frequency music they'll play. You know they say you could listen to and get into different zones and shit. I never even tried it with that till I heard them talking about it. I still didn't do it yet. I'm like, damn, I never thought of that.
Yeah, binaural
But
beats is.
yeah, I
I
got
like
one.
binaural.
They taking them apart. He's taking them apart and putting them on his head and, and all kind of stuff. You know, I ain't done experiments like that with them, but I got one. I got it when it first came out.
I want to get version 2 or version 3 when it come out. I just
Yeah,
want to
the
get the
one they got now
immersion.
is a vest. It's a vest. So yeah, it's gonna feel it even more.
I like how this story is just playing out. Like you ever see the Never Ending Story?
Yeah,
Yeah, I use that metaphor a lot. If you hear me saying it's like the never ending story of things. So like the book inside the dream that somebody reading, that somebody wrote. And like
mm,
every level is some a whole reality that's acting on each other and the causation and effect of the other reality.
yeah. Adds they add to each other.
Hmm. And that's how I'm seeing it with the virtual reality and the lucid dreaming. It's like it's the same feelers going on, the same mind training your mind. Like you're either gonna get it in lucid dreaming or people gonna be getting it through technology. And then the technology probably open up people dreaming. Because when I'm in
Yeah,
the virtual world, I'm like, oh man, this is like dreaming.
yeah, they creating a technology that people are going to use to tell some stories that they haven't been able to tell because it wasn't any way to tell it without the tech. It's just like I've been reading comic books all my life, and in the movies, they made the first Spider-Man movie. It was really dark, but as the special effects got better, then they could tell more stories. They could show different characters with different powers, and they could really make it really demonstrate it really good. Because at first the graphic couldn't even do it, and that virtual reality is something so different. It's stories yet to be told. You know what I'm saying? That needed, the technology to be able to demonstrate, the effects and the things that be told in the story.
And they feel that's why we all coming together. I got Timation Studios going on, getting the skills up on my own end with the coding, being able to build virtual worlds and stuff. And I want to connect with other artists, but we're gonna need music, visual art, and everything to put it all together so we can tell a story about what's going on in our lives with our dreams and how we encountering them. I've been working on this for a while and so a lot of different mediums. I was trying 2D animation, just talking like we are now, which is still going to always happen. This is the art form. But but yeah,
Yeah,
building up.
you heard some of my old music, man, but that was like street stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm marketed that I'm selling the dudes right in the street, but the music I make now is different, more spiritual. I don't really cuss him. Something totally. I'm trying to get Oz to hear something, but I ain't get his email. I need email. I want to let you hear. Like, it's more of a where I'm at now with my. You know what I'm saying?
Keeping it real. Hey, that's all you can do. But right now,
And I've been having these conversations, like me and Nabi, for like 30 years, but aren't putting it in the card. You know what I'm saying? We've been on some
gotcha.
metaphysical, spirit, you know, scientific shit years, but we wasn't putting it in music.
That's the tip I'm on too. I used to rap when I was in college and stuff, and I was hanging out with my bro Billy. We was doing shows and stuff, and I always wanted the I was always I always saw myself gearing more towards conscious rap, as they called it
Yeah,
on the east side. And then he was more always like the party side and stuff like that. So I would just try
yeah,
to fit in, but always still have my little bars that I put a little in there. But then I think
yeah.
it kind of faded away because I wanted to something in me wanted to do what I'm doing now, like have this voice more awakened, but the experience had to happen so that that voice can be more awakened, more prominent.
Oh yeah. That album I was showing you, I was doing street shit, but it like I had conscious messages in my street music, and I'd be like, man, my shit was street. People was taking it the wrong way, and then a lot of people I know that listen to it, they was like, no, your music was always conscious. I'm like, but to people that I don't know, I feel like the consciousness that was in the music got overshadowed every time they hear a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Every time they
Uh-huh.
hear, all of the conscious part gets pushed to the side, and I didn't want that in. Yeah,
Understand.
they like it was always conscious, but I'm like, I felt like it was confusion. You know what I'm saying?
Just
Like,
knew
is
who
it
you
street?
were.
Yeah,
You know who you are. That's the artist for real. I think that's what keeps it going. Because from the outside, it's always going to look like that. Oh, I love your whole body of work. But the artist is just like, man, what you talking about?
yeah,
I'm on to
yeah.
this right
But
now. You on that?
but you know what? Some people in my family, they was they listen to this album I did in 2005, and they still picking out things, and they saying, I didn't know you said this. Like, Grandpa used to say this, and my mother used to say this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, just now hearing that because they got overshadowed by the street aspects. They didn't realize. You know what I'm saying? It's taking them a long time, and I'm like, I don't want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, how do you know me? You in my family or something. You know me really good, and you just now hearing this 12 years later or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, the message is getting convoluted, you know?
Yeah, bro. I see that, and I see this all as a journey itself too. Journey itself of like rapping to yourself. Like it's the same way with me and with my family and stuff and things and like saying, "Oh, now y'all like I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place." But like saying, "Yeah, now y'all can hear what I'm saying or y'all get a glimpse or of something like that." I'm still not at that point yet all the way. But
Yeah.
but my mom's still like finally listening to honing in on certain things. My grandma acknowledging things that I do. Just say I can't wear your shirts, but I'll buy your shirt. I ain't down with all those symbols now.
Yeah. A little scared. They're
Yeah.
a little scared.
But just me being able now to just work with myself instead of like attacking myself. Cause you know how it is. I say the artist like the world of a art of the rapper is like the producer sets the stage with the music and everything, and then the
Yeah.
rapper just finds themselves in that environment, and what they rap about is what they're experiencing while they're there. But the whole time, the whole curation is made by them, like the master MC, like it's really them, and now the master of ceremonies is really them. So now, the play. Hold on. This all these explosions in the background. The stuff that they're rapping about, the words that they coming up with, is actually what they're feeling at that time. What they're trying to figure out within like the deepest depths of their soul. But it's like so it's real universal. I mean, like it's multidimensional, real bigger than what's being presented at the time. And that's why it probably can flow through time so that later in life our reflections around us as the people around us start picking up on it like it's
Yeah.
finally able to settle like or
If you're writing from a deep place,
mm-hmm,
it's not stuck in a moment. If you're writing from a deep place, it's outside of time.
there it is.
You're writing from pure creative, you know what I'm saying, from your soul. It's outside of time just like your soul.
I,
So
that's what
people coming back years later talking about stuff. I'm like, man, you been had to just now figured that out. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like that. I'm like, oh man.
it is what it is. It happens. I think that's the flow I'm on right now though. That's why I'm just keep on creating. I done created so much stuff on this channel and I keep on creating and it was so many moments where like in the past though where I was creating something thinking that was going to be the million view video or at least at least 500,000 video. I was like, all right, if I just work on it for 3 days, like shut everything else out, it's going to get those views in because that's what they said I got to do. I put the work in. Got to put the work in. So, but now I'm still putting all the work in. I'll spend days doing videos and stuff, and now I'm spending weeks doing things that didn't even come out yet and still in the works. I'm just seeing that flow of the artist, so like the high level magician of working outside of time, so that time don't try to confuse me anymore. So that I recognize what you saying, LaShawn Newman. You said sometimes people can't hear what you're saying until they reach a certain point in life. So playing with all of these gestures of myself, I'm like, all right, I see I ain't get that yet, but I'm gonna keep on working. I like because we think we know the psychedelics be showing me times like we think we know some stuff, but then we don't know. And it was we was but us thinking that we knew was beneficial to the progression of the story on a certain path. Or else if we was doing something else, it would have went that way or that way or that way. So we always like MC in our lives, as I was saying earlier. and then yeah, we can put stuff out. I was just a thought just came to my mind. I was talking to my daughter. I said we gotta start recording your songs and stuff and writing them down. She been doing songs since 2 years old, singing and stuff, and when
Uh-huh.
she was 4, freestyling when she learned how to put foreign words and put them together, and now she dancing and stuff and still make up things. I said, all of these songs. I said, you don't gotta do nothing else in your life right now, Isla, but make music. Cause I said, I hear what you saying. Like she'll make songs about just what's going on around her in the moment. And I'm like, yo, that is awesome because you're present right now. Sometimes she'll say what she feeling and stuff, like in like 2 minutes into the song, I'm like, oh, she digging deep. You really like got some higher music working through her right now, which is like her higher self and stuff just working, and I'm just watching her at play. So I'll be recording some things and I'll be like playing it back later. And I'm like, yo, like this was really, really good. Just like produce it a little, polish it up, and she can eat forever. That's what I'll be telling her. I said, you can eat forever off of your art. Just doing your art, not trying to over explain yourself to people. Cause I be seeing her
Yeah,
get that
yeah.
from her mom, and I'll be like, then she be saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was just this and that," and I'm like, "You ain't mean to hit her, like you know you ain't a violent person, like just working with herself a lot." So yeah, so don't get. She be just trying to explain herself to her cousin a lot because she's a real thoughtful person. She thinks like her cousin is. I like the duality they have with each other. Her cousin like would just jump straight off the cliff, and Isla would be like, well, what's the wind direction?"
Yeah, for a creative person though, sometimes that's not the thing that you need to do. If people interview or whatever, they interview because they a lot of times they look into, like, if people really like your art and is making some noise, they're looking to dull your mystique. They want to ask you just, oh, all he was talking about was this and that, and put you on the shelf. Like, ain't nothing really special about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
sometimes you got to just be vague. Like, I'm not going to explain my art away. Just take it for what it is. You might, I felt like this, I did this, I did that, but I'm not going to tell you all of it because they're looking for a way to try to explain you away. That it nothing really great about it, that it came from your soul. All you was doing was this. Let's file that away. All Phil was rapping about was this. After the interview's over, they like, oh, he's just trying to do like this. You know, that's their job.
It really is
Review
their job.
shit.
Cause I
Yeah,
see how
reviews
they
is
pop up in my own mind. And I had to fight against that. While you was talking, I
yeah.
was just seeing them like appearing up as different figures as I'll be painting them. And I was like, man, what I
Mm-hmm.
was even making music for? Or I was looking at my art like, yeah, I made that art like, but now I go
Yeah,
back
not
and look at it and I'm like,
like it ain't
wait,
magic. Like you didn't
yeah.
create something out of nothing, but you did. You created something out of nothing, alchemy. But the world will say, "Oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that all it is this. All they talking about is this." They want to ask you a bunch of questions so you can explain it, so they can say, "Oh, that's all it is. That ain't nothing special." Like, hold up, you gonna forget that I made this out of nothing? You know what I'm saying? I made something out of nothing. I'm a damn magician.
You know what personality started popping back up in my brain, in my programming was the old early 2000s Lil Wayne when he used to do interviews before he like kind of stopped,
Mm-hmm.
and he used to like
Yeah,
he cursed the person out before he just had his lollipop and his blunt.
yeah.
I used to
He's
rewatch
not
that
gonna.
interview all the
Yeah,
time.
he's not going to answer all your questions the way you want him to answer. He's not going to explain away his own mystique, as all these people is loving his art. He's like, I'm not going to let y'all dull it by answering all these questions where y'all just trying to tear me down. People loving it. They don't know how I did it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know why people is loving it, and y'all want to break it down and dissect it and say, oh, it ain't nothing. That's all it is. That's their job. So he don't play get by their rules when he interviews. He don't answer questions half the time. He say what he want to say. He like, y'all, I'm not gonna let y'all tear me down.
And
Yeah,
that's
and
the
I'm not
whole
even.
point.
I ain't even a
Tearing
little
down.
Wayne fan like that, but I understand what he's doing in them interviews.
And now I'm re-understanding it. Like, yeah, I was taking
Yeah.
it in, but now I'm just going back through the vision. I'm like, yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is in the mind. How you got to convince yourself. Because now I'm reproducing all of my art, like putting it out there in different ways. All the stuff that I've been working on for the past 4 or 5 years, like even the book that I wrote 5 years ago, drew out everything and then held on to it for 3 years, and then no, 2.5 years, and then said, oh man, I did make this book. Then I recreated it digitally, and then stuff was going on in life again, all these happenings, and I put it aside again. And now, just like a month ago, no, like 3 weeks ago, I just was re-editing it again, making the words different. And now I'm seeing I can get the book presented in AR, so you can have your book, which have your phone up, and you can like see it appear in your room and stuff. So I'm like, this
Oh,
stuff that I'm working with is always on time. It's always just on time. But we're honing into what you want to do. I'm creating is be the mystery continue power, so
yeah.
to speak. It's feeling good. It's doing good. I'm putting the art inside the virtual realms, even like true in them logos and stuff. You go into one of my worlds I created, you see True poster on the wall.
Yeah, man. Art. They like art. Art is an important thing. It's one of the most important things in human civilization. You know, it's sometimes we're closest to God when humans create art. You know what I'm saying? That's only where we're gonna unravel certain things about our nature and our mind. You know, the only thing that could probably stop us from destroying ourselves,
Art.
Yo,
and it may
Ty.
not do that.
Yo,
Hey,
Ty. What's up? You know what you just in time for? Them
uh,
azarescents and them wavy caps that grow around your way. What's up with that?
hey, I've been searching.
Oh,
You
so
gave
what's
up
up?
on your neighbors. What up,
Hey,
peoples? What up, everybody? Hey, you gave up on that patch that was in your neighbor's little cross section.
I went back over there. They wasn't there. They messed it up.
Nah, you know what it is. Sometimes it's just called a mycelium run, right? The mycelium, once they start running, sometimes they'll run for 5 years in this one spot. If as long as the conditions don't change and somebody just got some old mulch wood chips stacked up and they just let the rain and all that hit it and all that, and the azarescents or the cyanescens will colonize that real good, and they'll be there for like 5 years every winter when the season's perfect, they'll just pop. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah,
you in the right area though, Ty. You the whole state is all you.
I know. I got an electric scooter.
There you go.
Brown. Now I'm playing for
Yeah.
it. I went around 2 days ago, but I didn't see anything. I'm gonna look again.
Where like, okay, what kind of parks you guys got? Big ass parks out there where they got trees that they put the wood chips around the trees at the base?
Only at
Alder
some,
trees.
yeah, only at some parts, because around here it's a lot of forest.
Will you look up when you on your searches in your area, look up alder trees, alder trees in parks with alder trees, stuff like that, because them cyanescens and stuff like that, they like growing underneath those trees. I don't know why, but those are the trees to look for. Not really the azarescens, but the cyanescens, the wavy caps and stuff like that, and the ones
Huh?
that you said that were close to those too, the ones that are similar looking, they grow places like that.
Oh, all right. I just typed in alder tree. They were showing me houses, alder tree.
Them come out them wood chips.
Yeah, and it's like those are the cleanest, meanest. They coming straight out of wood. Them shits ain't got no doodle. But the ones that come out the doodle don't got no doodle on them either. You feel me? But they still even more. They just don't use the doodle. They use wood.
And amanitas come out that wood chip pretty often.
They them things are like the trees, the spruce trees and the trees they use for Christmas. Those trees, the roots and stuff like that. Somehow the amanitas got a symbiosis going on with those trees that they grow under those trees.
Oh,
You know what
pine
I mean?
trees.
Yeah,
Pine tree.
wherever the needles
Christmas
are at
came
on the
out.
ground, they use those needles as a bed. You know what I'm saying? As a pine needle bed.
They
Matter
got
of
a
fact, the
lot of those now.
Azarescens uses that too. They could use pine too, pine needles, Azarescens. Cyanescens. I know the cyanescens uses pine needles too. Not a lot of them do that because the pine needles got like a oily substance that comes off them. But some shrooms just bust that down. The mycelium is the genius here. You feel me? It knows everything. That's crazy how they took it in China and they put it on in a in a maze that was the same as the rail system. You talked about that before, right, Ty? They took
No,
the
I never heard
mycelium.
of it.
So they took the rail system of the China, how they have the efficiency in China, how people move through the system, subways and all that stuff. The efficiency of is way more advanced than we people. You see how they smash into they move and they go in crowds, and the crowds is like smashing and moving. Like so, they put that mycelium on the same maze, and the mycelium found an alternate routes to make it better and more easier and simplified the whole system. So they was able to reroute and unclog their shit because the mycelium knew how to grow through this shit even faster. And you know what I mean? It was smarter at solving the puzzle
Than your regular old daily root.
About that
than your
Tainow
regular
test.
old, more smarter than your regular old human. You know what I'm saying? The scientists, you know what I'm saying? Specifically, that trying to fucking crack
Yo,
shit like, you know what I mean?
imagine mycelium interacting with computers.
That's
Don't you?
what I said before too. Like Kalindi talks about, it's reverse engineering. Like what Terrence McKenna was talking about before, and all these other people they were talking about. This dude one time he had his on one of his recordings that they were talking about reverse engineering the trip, and some of the people were like, "What's the point of this?" Because it was like mad colors and some shit was happening on the screen, but it was mad old. It was back in them old ass whack ass computers and shit,
Yeah.
and the dude was trying to show them, and they was like, "Man, this doesn't make." And he was like, "This is what it's gonna be in a few. It's reverse engineering what it does to the brain and blah blah blah." And he was talking about how the effects because they put micro. I
Computers
mean,
had to
what's them
catch
things?
up. Computers got to
they
catch
they
up
put electrodes on our whole entire skull, and when we take mycelium, my mushrooms and shit like that, they could see the brain what it does and how it interacts with our brain, and they also know about the neurons and all that other stuff. But the just the way it works in general is like computer the way it
the
downloads
network.
information, and yeah, it's a
Yeah.
network. It's a mycelial network that is an organic. It's an organic internet. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Hmm.
the mycelium
It's
is nature's internet.
Yes, is organic. It makes everything do what it does. It feeds. It helps everybody know what's going on in the forest, and it's
And
everywhere.
it's
It doesn't even spruce like shrooms at all. It's
yeah,
just mycelium, but some of it
mycelium.
produces shrooms and some of them don't.
Yeah,
You know
but
what
the
I mean? But
network
it's the brain. Yeah,
is like a brain. It grows like neurons,
yeah.
a
This is the
neural
thing,
network.
Ty.
Yeah.
Think of this, Ninja, and
Yeah,
everybody on
man.
the panel, right? Like mycelium is the brain, like we know. So
Yep.
the thoughts and the information that is in the brain is what pops out in the mushrooms of the thoughts. Like so, when we take fucking psilocybin mushrooms, we're actually eating the fucking the compendium of thoughts and fucking information that comes from this brain that we could make it fucking organized in a
Exactly.
certain way. You feel me? Like it's crazy how this
Like
shit is
a
intellectual, bro. The
like
mycelium
a
will fucking
like a
is crazy.
USB chip, a USB chip that just grows out of the ground, and you just pick it and you plug it into your brain, and you download the info.
Pretty much. Yep. A USB before USBs were out. That's the chip that we take is to fucking plug it off the brain and fucking boom. And the crazy thing is that it goes forward in time, backward in time. I'm not saying that that's what it does every time, but you could go backwards, you could go forwards, you could go to another planet, you could go to an alternate dimension, you could go to
Right.
something that you just invent as you go.
Yeah. You
And
plug
fucking
in to where there is no time.
no time.
Yeah.
You go in there at whatever age you are, and you come back out at 90 years old. Brain, you know what I'm saying? Your brain is way more older and more advanced. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if it sheds off of you, like as you go after the trip, it sheds away, and but you pick up, as a whole, people usually you pick up a lot of shit off of it after taking it. Like it's like you feel more connected to the people around you, like in a way like since I was a kid, I could see shit happening before it was gonna happen. Like as far as like when we was in the hood, I knew when it was gonna pop off before. Everybody feels it in the air. It's gonna something's gonna happen, and Like, but it's more on another level after taking shrooms. It's like you feel people on an emotional level. Like people are very emotional, bro, and they do things based on stupid reasons. And sometimes you can see people just start talking to them right in their
You feel
eyes
they
that they
vibe.
just
No,
yeah,
that's
man. It's
exactly
like
how it is. People got such a Truman Show thing going on. I'm like, you're reading the script, but you got all these emotions and stuff that's creating that what you saying right now that you're not even dealing with at the moment, but it's right
yeah, like
there.
They on
yeah,
autopilot. Yeah, they on
yo,
autopilot.
to nail it on the head, right? It's like that I see people that they don't know that they're the own problem in their life. Like they do things and they're the reason why shit's happening is because of the way they move and the way they think and the way they do stuff. It's like you're creating a wave yourself, and it's like you blaming the world and everybody around you, but it's your own your little process of what you do when you're around people and when you talk and when you whatever you do. Like no matter wherever you can put them anywhere, no matter what phone they get on, no matter what they do, whatever internet they're typing into or whatever they're doing, they're always bringing this little thing with them. You feel me? And it's like
Yeah,
it reflects in your life. You feel me? So it's
Yeah.
like trying to tell people about that so they could better that. It's like sometimes they don't want to hear it. They want to be on autopilot or something. Or some people are just, they don't want to
they
It,
think
point
till
the
it's too
finger
late.
at
But
everybody
that's why
else.
shrooms. That's why shrooms is important because they will never know. They don't know what these corners around these corners that we've already been around these corners and
You can't.
they can't see around the
Hey,
corner that we've
Ozo, you
already been
can't
around.
bullshit this room. You can't bullshit it because it's
Yeah,
you. And it's like
yep.
all your
yeah,
excuses and all the bullshit that you're doing, you know what I'm saying? That you're responsible for it. You can't point your finger at nobody else. It shows you your bullshit.
yeah.
And
Other
then
people's
A
one of the
lot of
bullshit,
things
but it
that.
show you your bullshit.
one
A
of the
lot
things
of
they
that.
showed me too, they showed me at the end, I had the complete metaphor of like you ever see somebody drowning in a puddle and then they stand
Hmm.
up and be like, I'm in a puddle. Like that was my experience. Like, what the fuck am I ever being too worried about anything for?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
stand
yeah.
up.
Stand up.
yeah.
Yo, Ty, like out of all your trips, right? What do you remember that's like the most um I don't know, like, cause the thing is, right, as a team, right, when we be coming together, we be talking about things, trying to decipher. Like, I feel like every time, right, I take them, I always like it's like you look behind your eyelids, right, and you see not in general. Like, I can never say anybody this is the blueprint, this is what happens. But in general, if you go into the dark and you take a certain dose that is effective, you close your eyes, you put a fucking patch on your eyes, and at first it's like lights or like you start seeing like little dots, and you just or something's moving like kind of like clockwork. And if you look at it, all of a sudden you just zoom in on it. It's like after a few like, and it doesn't even happen quick. Like sometimes you could just be like, ah, this shit ain't doing nothing. You just got to be relaxed because a lot of people can't even relax because we don't know how to meditate in the hood. We don't know how to do none of that. But a motherfucker know how to lay down. You know what I'm saying? So a motherfucker just lay down and wait, and that shit soon. Once you start seeing something that look like clockwork or some type of light show, you can't really tell what it is. It's like peripheral. But once you start chasing it around and looking for it, trying to see what was that I just seen or whatever, and it goes from that, right, and you forget about this part of the trip because as soon as you realize that you see and stuff, you start forgetting that you was looking through your eyes, that you was laying down and you was doing any of that. You just looking around and expecting and doing stuff somewhere else or being taken on a magnetic like pull through somewhere. Like it's like if you put a map out and you get magnetically stuck to it and it drags you through the whole map of different places and different shit happening, and you got to go through this maze of shit to get to the end of the trip when it's done dragging you through all these different things, episodes, realities, stuff that you have no control over, but you just have control over yourself and your thoughts and what you're thinking while you're going through these places. And it's like, holy shit, you're trying to gather all this information, and there's always like an enlightening, like something you get out of it, and then it changes to something that like dragging you through some other shit. Like, what the fuck is it? How does it do that to us, bro? That it just shows us shit that is like away from our own thoughts, like things that make your thoughts think on top of things in the background, making your thoughts think about what the fuck is that back there. Like it's like too much, right? And it's like you come out of it changed and you feel all this shit. And sometimes you even see beings like some people see, but it's never like a button in the elevator that you press to go to where the fuck you want to go. this shit just fucking unlocks sometimes the planet when you look up in the sky and the shit is falling down like in fucking Chicken Little, or that fucking you see things in the grass that the trees are doing something like they're conspiring on something, just waiting, you know what I'm saying, to absorb us into the earth. We're part of the earth. We're feeding
Yeah,
them. We're
breathing
just
and
we're
shit.
just fodder for the trees. You feel me? And
Yeah,
it's like different things. Like I don't know. I'd be asking everybody, and then I get on these little rants and shit, because it's like, man, what the fuck is gonna take my mind to
yeah.
what levels? You know what I'm
And
saying?
what you said
And
about the
all of us.
trees, because when you look at trees, you realize in that state that this motherfucking tree is way older than, it's gonna be here when I'm gone. So like you said, they're like, yeah, we're gonna eat y'all when y'all die.
Yeah. Oh
Huh.
yeah.
No,
Yo,
that's
Ty,
how.
Have you
you
ever?
you 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 you've been diving regularly since you know what I mean? Since last
n-
summer before.
and not not deeply, not like big grams. Still, times are still. But
Hmm.
the feeling that you talking about is I recognize that feeling. I gotta take off these headphones. Very deeply, like you ever play my trips. They start off usually like the things that, yeah, like you said, just relaxing and sitting down and surrendering. And that surrendering could mean like not worried about having to get up, not worried about, oh, am I going to be hungry or thirsty, or is somebody going to
Hmm.
come and
Hmm.
try to talk to me,
You
or
know what
am I
another
going to try to
surrendering is too? Like
explain
when
something to
somebody they
somebody?
peep something real quick. You know, it's like surrendering too is like I know my boys from the hood how they be acting. Like if they close their eyes and they see something, they rip off the iPads like, oh shit, what the fuck was that? Like what the fuck? I ain't trying to see no shit like that. And they'll just be like on some other shit. Like nah, fuck that. And but if you surrender, like you're saying, and you just lay the fuck down and just let the video roll, just watch what
Yeah,
happens,
let
dog.
the let the radio roll. Oh, this the song that popped up. Okay, we just gonna bob our head to this, and the thoughts come and they come, and the song is not forever. But
This
yeah,
is the song that never.
but for me, it starts off like a little circle and stuff. Like when the reality thing happened, and then it starts off in front of me, and then slowly like reveals itself, like starts peeling back the reality in front of me, starts like just coming out around me. Like it's two ways. The reality could be in that ball, and then it starts going around me, or the reality around me like starts fading away as like the rip starts surrounding me like a 360. And then it's
Yeah.
like instant I recognize that I'm there. It's like, oh, I'm here. Then all the training with the breathing and stuff like that. Hey, LaShawn. Oh, that's what I was getting into about being able to take where the trip takes you. I gotta take another I want to take another dive to confirm a lot of things. Or just the experience,
Yeah.
the way of
Yeah,
control
yeah,
as
yeah.
you
It's about
saying.
experience time. For
Yeah,
sure, I could testify to it
bro,
because
done.
you know how we talk to people like and people don't want to sometimes tell you things deeper than what they are, but there's no mystery. You feel me? Like I took hellograms and fucking it does take you a lot. It depends on where you at. And it's like, yo, like I like hearing people's things and like what you're telling me now about what you went through because it's like as far as we are as humans somehow and through the things that we've been learning and stuff since we were kids, so we think that everything is like a game or something. Like I want to know all the rules and all the possibilities and what it is that happens when you take shrooms, and it's like
That's
there's too many
impossible.
possibilities. It's impossible, and it's good to hear everybody's point of view because it's like, damn, this is how it happened to him, and it does happen, and it's like you get a feeling of all that stuff, little spaces of time in between time because there's no time when you take the shrooms. It's like in between all these things. Sometimes you forget. We forget hella shit before you know what I mean. We remember some shit and it just tarnishes it as soon as we put it in English. And on top of that, we forgot hella shit that you know what I mean. It's crazy.
Moments in time that we forgot.
Mm-hmm.
It can take you back to
So
a moment
We can never know
that you
too
forgot.
much. That's why I stick to comedy.
comedy is the truth. Laughter is the truth. The funniest
Yeah,
comics is the ones that tell the truth about things that is funny because it's facts.
that's right.
It's what's going
You
on in
feel
front of
me?
your face, and you're not tripping out, freaking out. You laughing at it and seeing what's actually being said at the same.
Hey, listen, man. Every the dope the best trips I've ever had was because I set off the set and the setting are the most important things when you take shrooms. You feel me? The set, like the studio set, is your mind. You know what I'm saying? The mind is the studio, dog. So the setting around you, dog, like your crib, wherever you're at, the setting got to be quiet. So fucking once everything is quiet, bro, and you put on some comedy on the TV and you sit down and you just find some comics and you start laughing and you start laughing and once the trip starts kicking in, you start seeing the blurs and the little waviness. Like, okay, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the little waves. As soon as you feel the waves and you already laughing, you feeling good. Your laughter is you lay down and you close your eyes, and then from there your trip will be perfect because you've already put your set and your setting was perfect. You feel me? Like you laughter, your endorphins is up from laughing. You know what I mean? And
That's so funny. When I did trip, I didn't know what I was doing. And I
those are
started
good
with the
too.
Three Stooges, but I really didn't know
Mm.
about visuals, so I didn't even know to close my eyes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Those are good too. Those are good too. No matter what, it's a message. You feel me?
Yeah, no matter. I had
Yeah.
some yesterday
One
on
time
Christmas.
You had what
I
for
was,
Christmas?
yeah, I just ate like took one whole mushroom out the jar. It was cool.
Okay.
It was cool. I was able to be content with everything that was going on because it was so different than every other Christmas I experienced. Because last year I kind of ruined Christmas a bit because I was yelling. I was like, "Hey man, like," I wanted things to be a certain way.
And
But
like
this
this some
year,
Man.
bullshit. Ain't no
yeah,
damn Santa Claus.
I was
You're the
going
It ain't
off
Grinch
on a
last
Jesus'
lot of
year.
birthday.
stuff.
To
Hashtag
the
Grinch.
astronomical, they talking about the sun is Saturnalia. It pissed grandma
sometimes you
off and everybody.
sometimes you gotta be a Grinch, you gotta be the Grinch.
Hey, the
But
funny thing is that the whole shrooms and from Siberia, how they used to collect them. You know what I mean? And then the shamans, they call them shaman, but the dude dressed like Santa Claus with the snow with the deer used to come with the bags of shrooms and drop them through the chimneys because the
Yeah,
snow was already covered the front door.
that's right.
So
y'all
the
need
only
these good
access was through the
spirits.
chimney. Huh?
As
That's
he's
Yeah.
like, y'all
right.
need
Yeah,
these good
But
spirits.
you know how people be talking now? They try to turn it to liquor, like drink some liquor in the cold and you feel better. You know what I mean? Like nah, liquor won't make you feel better in the cold, man. Like but some shrooms will turn you to Survivor Man.
Yeah. You start
You
working
know what
with
I'm
your
saying?
body in a different way. You
Your
start
body
working
heat,
with your
dog. Your body
chemical
heat, like them.
reactions.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker be out there butt naked in the snow. Body heat will be on another level. It's all of a sudden for 1 second you feel everything. You're like, oh shit, I'm cold, I'm freezing. Oh shit, my toes is froze. I'm done.
I knew that was
Like
true because I
mindset,
wanted to be
mindset will
like
change
fat people.
everything.
I said I wanted to be like
Or
fat people in the cold wearing shorts. And then I got
the
into
mu-
psychedelics. I started tapping into that a little bit.
the mushrooms will take over and like you just start automatically doing Wim Hof breathing and
Yes, automatic,
I
automatic. Yes,
I got a trip story. Um,
there you
I was
go.
lost. I got lost in the woods, and it's a place where I always seem to get lost. Like I'm just like hiking in this one trail, and for no matter what reason, I'm always try to I'm not gonna get lost this time, but if I really pay attention to this trail, and I go off this way, and I'll come back, and I won't get lost. And then somehow I manage to get lost every single time. One time, and I was like, "That's it. I can't believe it. This is like the fourth time I've done this. I'm lost again." I took my mushrooms and I'm microdosing, and so I'm like,
Yes.
so I'm like, I'm just chilling out there, and then when they start kicking in, the mushrooms take over. Like all of a sudden, the panic and the fear all go away, and the vibration of the mushroom starts leading me. Like it doesn't even matter. Like it just gives me like go this way, and it's like it reminds me of that Felix Filicus potion in Harry Potter, where you can never do anything wrong. You just gotta follow. You just gotta follow whatever feelings it is, and even if it feels weird or you're doing something weird, it always ends up to be this thing that was like super intelligent. The mushrooms were just leading you down to this, this weird path, but they were actually saving you, or putting you right in the right place at the right time. And for sure, I came out in the path, and I'm like, oh, now I know where I am. And then I looked down and there's some
Yeah.
mushrooms. And I'm like, oh, and then I continued, I'm like, oh, there's some, and then I
Yeah.
continued I just kept following the mushrooms, and it turned into this great,
Man,
like, mushroom
Yo,
foraging trip where I get
Ninja, man, that's that mind blowing shit, Ninja. Like, yo, that's that shit that
yeah.
like people that the philosophers talk about. Like this is like Terrence in one of his interviews, he says, I don't know how this isn't like how everyone doesn't know this, how they keep this a secret.
Yeah.
Like,
They
how do
keep
you
the lid on it.
like you know what I mean? How do you keep the lid on this? It's like this is like everything. Like it's ridiculous how much levels and shit there is in there, dog. Like it's out of
Yeah.
control.
Yeah, that's why it's funny
That's
when I feel like there's like there was like this really funny. I bet you've heard this about DMT. Someone's like, "Oh man, I need DMT," and someone will always tell you it'll come to you when it wants you to smoke, when you're
Yeah.
ready for it. You know,
It's your time.
in a way, man, I believe that. I believe that.
For sure.
It's
that's
intelligence.
crazy.
It set
Somebody had
itself up. It's like the mycelium network. It's all over the place, just doing its thing. It's very intelligent.
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
symbiotic
crazy.
relationship too we get with it.
That's what I
Like,
feel, 100%.
Yeah, I'll be out there in the woods and I can like feel the mushrooms. I'll be like, yes, I can find the mushrooms now because I feel them. Like they're guiding me.
Yeah,
our feelings become real things instead of being something we always confused about, or something that
Right?
is just, oh, that's just something you felt, or what did you do with it though? No, I felt this, and this was just what was happening.
Yeah. Get in tune with the vibrations and the feelings, and then you can kind of guide
yo,
yourself
what? Nature
where you're going.
respects something to move forward. Like it respects courage in a different way. Not courage like you think you're tough, like shit to move forward. Everything respects that out there. You feel me? Like wolves, everything looks at you a certain way. Like bears, all the animals as you move through there. If you act like a deer or a rabbit, that's what you're fair game. You feel me? Like if you see something and you
Yeah.
start panicking. But if you're on shrooms and you're breathing the right way and you see them, you're like, man, you better mind your business. I'm going this way, and like you know what I mean. And it's like they do, they will. They're just like whatever. He's a predator. He's looking for something. He ain't looking for me.
That reminds me of the
You
Jungle Book, man. Mowgli has to face Shere Khan, and Shere Khan would just eat him up if he had showed any signs of fear. But Mowgli, he
mm,
grew up in the jungle. He learned the ways of the jungle, and he learned to be fearless. And Shere Khan could look at him, and Mowgli would look right back and be fearless. And Shere Khan would say, "All right, you can live in my forest." You know,
yeah.
otherwise Shere Khan would have just ate him up.
You know what's messed up, right? This is the messed up part, y'all. Right? All right. We take the shrooms. We grow up somewhere with this jungle and all that stuff. We take shrooms and we do it on different levels, and we always take them. And then you get to that point that you're like, okay. And then you're taking them and you're going into the forest and you feel at one and you're going through all this shit and then you get ate by a fucking anaconda or some type of creature that wipes you and eats you, and you just roll with it like whatever. You like a rag doll, like a like a whatever, and the thing just
Mhm.
tears you down, and you just transition to the next life, and you keep it moving. Like yo, that was fun being a human for a little while, and you keep it moving to the next spot. Like that's
Right.
crazy how it's like doesn't really matter when you think about stuff like, well, what if it is that much that the deepness of not the brain or the neurons or nothing like that, but the thought process and who we are as a person and an individual without all the invading thoughts or all the things that we've been taught since we were kids or all the shit that we grew up thinking a certain way. When we draw a line in the sand and we start thinking for ourselves and start looking for information and start building a consciousness and start cultivating your mind, then it's like that doesn't go away. So it's like that could move on to the next. It's part of living a certain way of looking. This shit brings to you, like, if you're even a person that looks for information, this shit just drops information in your mind in a way that you feel like more in tune to nature in a way that you don't care about certain things. You just move, and it's like it's good in a way and it's bad in another way, you know what I mean? But it does, like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it could do anything. You feel me, Ty? Like, I don't know, all of us. That's why we need a compendium
Uh
of people to like to
huh.
come through with different reports to say, so we could like scroll through shit, like put things that are likes and that are just similar, and things that are like, you know what I mean, leading paths, and see if it opens some type of Zelda's quest to fucking do some shit and try to do it a certain way. You know what I mean? With a certain dose, certain strain, certain situation, certain set and setting that acquires with this. You know what I mean? Like people use tones, people use different shit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
bro.
it's
I've
like
I've been experiencing with the doses I've been taking, and then off of it. a lot of foresight. Like you said, know when something is about to happen in the hood, when it's something bad or something. But like with average shit that be happening, and I would have it would come off as a vision of me thinking it or acting it out, and then somebody else would come around and do it. And so I'm starting to have this other thought in my mind now of sometimes I don't even know how to describe it, but how to tie it all together. But yeah, the thoughts, the visions that I be going on, is sometimes I act them out, and then sometimes I'll and then sometimes other people, then sometimes other people do it, and I'd be like, oh yeah, well I knew, and then I'd be have the after, oh I knew they was going to, or oh I did have that thought. It just come off in all these different ways, and the
Mhm.
when I yeah, yeah, and the knowledge, and when I'm working with computers and stuff, and I take a little dose, things work so much more fluently. Like not even with computer crashing, but with me knowing what to actually do and how to put it
Absolutely.
together.
Yeah, that's a dope that's the dope symbiosis part of it when you feel like that. Like, but it's like also it makes you feel like, wow, how does this substance allow me to unlock myself? Like it allows you to have like a control of your body, like you've never even like we've never been able to control our body until it shows you a different perspective. Like you could see things in X-ray, you could fucking do different shit, but it doesn't like, and it's just like people do that in the Amazon all the time. Like, oh, you got a broken bone, you got this, you got that, and they fucking know they can see right through you. Like they know what the fuck's happening to you somehow. You feel me? Like because of all the medicine they done took, the people who take so much and they know they take enough that they're in tune with shit that they can see right through you, like your vibrations and all that shit. So all
I
this
got
shit is
that one.
possible by every human being. You feel me? Everything that any other human being could do, we could do. And it's like the shrooms show you that. Like you take shrooms, you never did yoga, you never did nothing else, and that shit will have you doing yoga somewhere or fucking, or doing some crazy shit. Like the shrooms are like that, bro. It's like they open your mind to all kind of shit,
like
thoughts and
like
fucking.
case in point, bro. Um,
Mhm.
5 10 minutes ago, while you was talking, I was thinking the thought of how mushrooms unlock, or I was thinking the thought, I was seeing the vision of, like when I say thinking a thought, I literally see a movie playing out in front of me, and then I just say what I'm seeing. Like that's what I mean. I be trying to say,
Yeah.
I be trying to
Nice.
say I'm just thinking about it, but that just seemed like lame terms for me to say I'm thinking about it. Like I see
Exactly
it,
right.
I'm
English is
there.
whack, bro.
Yeah.
The whole language. We can't even. As soon as we come back and tell any of our trips, we tarnish it or anything we have to say like that. We're already fucking it up with the words. We can't describe
And I
the
was
shit.
yeah, I was, before I forget, 10 minutes ago, I was
Mhm.
just thinking about how the mushrooms unlock everything that I was watching on TV that I thought witches and stuff could. And then when I took it, I was like, oh, this is actually possible. Like I knew I was right. Like I knew I know who I am. I can cast
Wow.
spells, I can fly, my thoughts can do this. Words have the meaning that we always say that they have and the non-meaning. But there's so much meaning to everything we saying creates the
Mhm.
reality off of that. That's why I'm trying to change everything up as I talk. Like, oh wait, I
Mhm.
just said that. Wait, let me change up how I even just said that.
They were like, burn him at the stake. Burn him at the stake. Yeah,
That's all they
that's
did back then.
yeah, 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 out of control.
It was this
Oh
show
man,
Always a Witch on Netflix. You ever see that?
The Witch.
Always a Witch.
Oh
I think it's
nah,
called
I haven't
Always a
seen it.
Witch. It's in Spanish too. I watched it in Spanish so the words can still match their lips. But it was a
Wow.
witch that was getting burnt at the stake, but then she met this magician that sent her to the future. And she was able
Oh,
to
I
see
seen the
things in
preview. I
this
seen the
time.
preview. Yep, that
Yeah.
shit looks
Yeah,
dope.
it's
It's
called
called
Always a
Always a
Witch.
Wish. That's
That was a
dope.
cool movie.
Hmm. I didn't know it
Oh,
was in Spanish either.
yeah, I'll be there.
And I got that X-ray vision one time on DMT, and I was on the
Huh?
beach, and
Yeah.
I was
All
going
right.
for the big dose, and I took a I took a major hit out of my dab rig, and I started having the pixelation just started going mad crazy, and it literally looked like there was the beach, the sand started flowing like the waves, like going in these weird ripples, like the earth, though, like a rubbery ripple. The earth turned to these rubbery ripples, and it was like these waves cascading around me, and then they started pixelating and turning into these little Lego blocks. And just before
Nice.
I laid down and then totally, shot through, I looked down at my hand, and it looked like an Alex Gray painting, bro. Straight up, I could see through my hand. I could see the blood, the capillaries, all the little, energy flowing through, and it was like bright, like a light, like I was looking down at a light bulb. My hand was so bright and just made of energy. It was freaking like X-ray vision, dude. Absolutely crazy.
That's
Good.
wild. But that's what we can do, though. That's not wild. I'm only saying wild because I read your name, Wild Man. But
It was wild, man.
but that's
You know
what
what
we
they
capable
call
of. But it just seems so wild that
supernatural?
we block it out of our mind that
They
much.
call it supernatural. That's the word they used to put on things. Supernatural. If you could see shit and nobody else could see it, and then it's real, it's true. Like they go test it and it's real, then that's a supernatural phenomenon or whatever. You feel me? Like they try to label it, but it's actually we might have modes that we are able to see shit and all. Like
Yeah.
I've seen shit, like it's crazy. Imagine seeing the sea life in the ocean. Like that would be crazy. I want to take the sand already looks crazy. But shrooms is like out of control. You feel me? Like you outside, you take a heavy dose, and you're out there. The sand is. I had a dope time though on the beach with on shrooms. It was awesome. Everything played the way it was supposed to. Like we needed music. Some people have came and camped, set up shop right next to us, bumping the music, the right music. Fucking the sun was beaming. Everything was
Mm,
perfect, yo.
nice.
It was dope. But yeah, the ocean, seeing deeper, like deeper stuff, like being in tune with the animals and life and shit. Like I could believe, like they say, water is like some type of a crystal form that's liquefied on our planet, and we happen to drink water, but it's actually some type
Something
of a
else.
crystal that's liquid. But the ocean is huge and it's salt and it's got all kind of shit. But you could probably put your hand on it like Aquaman,
Yeah.
and through vibrations, some shit'll come. You know what
For
I'm saying?
real. Yeah.
Well,
There
I
not a lot
microdose
of
my
people
surf
like it.
all the time.
Oh.
Uh, well, you get
Cutting
into this
waves.
you get into this
Mm.
state of being where you feel the waves, and you paddle right where the waves are going to be, and you just get real in sync with the waves, pretty you know
Nice.
pretty in tune with the water, the
Totally.
flow.
Yeah. At least you won't panic too if you're on shrooms and a shark rip off your bottom half of your leg, you'll just be like, oh, it's okay, man. He's just a shark, man. He's not even gonna come back. I don't even taste good to him, man. Let's just swim back to shore, man. We're all good.
When I'm out there,
You will.
and I start thinking those thoughts, I honestly think I'm like, oh man, don't even think about it, man. Don't
Yeah,
even
don't
think.
even call him over here like Aquaman. Don't
Yeah,
even call him over here like Aquaman.
I might
Please
accidentally
don't come.
call. The shark answers the phone. Hello. I'm like, no, and he's like, man, you called me. I'm like, I didn't mean to. Stay away.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
ready.
That's a real
yeah,
thing. We do that with people all the time too. All people, our
yeah,
thoughts, and
yeah.
be
That's why the
confused on
phone
why
rings
things
after you talk
happening.
about.
Yep.
The phone rings,
Speaking of the
or you
devil.
bump it, or you bump into them, or you cross their path, and you're like, "What? I just talked about that person."
uh,
It's something to do with synchronicity and vibration, stuff like that. I don't know, or we're just a giant Monopoly game, or something else.
well said. I know a few ways one can use ground into a reality realm by trying to focus as hard as you can to hold yourself there. The sailing, using similarities to things you comprehend, using the symbols like links, swimming the waves between waves of trip, start to meditate, free diving it point. Makes
All I
sense when
know
you
is
read
that all I
it.
know, right, is that when I take certain doses, I just let go and I let them. The best trips I've had is when the whatever it is that activates inside of us just goes on its own and shows me shit like a behind the scenes. to things that are fucking like monumental. Like I fucking get a behind the scenes. And I remember specifically one time that I was in one of those realms looking at shit like that, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna tell motherfuckers on the Discord. And I felt like an entity, but not an entity like something like the shrooms, but it was like an alien, like a fucking. It just came and was like, oh nah, you all set. Um, like told me basically that it was for me, not for me to go talk about it. So
Mm,
they shut it all down.
that's funny.
And I was like, oh yeah,
Last night I dived in DMT and I literally asked them just because I knew that was gonna happen. I told them, I said, can I tell this to my friends? And the DMT was like, sure. But I was like, I know sometimes you're not gonna let me.
yeah, that's crazy,
This time I
man.
was like, can y'all please remember this so I can tell my friends? The DMT was like, sure, this time's cool.
Yo, but you know how many times have all of us, each of
That's
us said
awesome.
something, even if it's part of a trip, like each of us have all said something that's contributed to like, oh, I felt that, I went there, I seen something like that, or something like that happened to me. And it's like they do kind of like, if we had enough people to fucking tell us a report, we would somehow get formations of shit. You know what I mean? On how much dose, where they were at, and all the set and settings and everything. Like once you get all that shit,
Hmm.
man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And it's like I know you could take enough like small doses and go to sleep and dream too, like
Yeah.
on point two, point three, point four, all the way to whatever, And
Gave me the goosebumps.
Yeah, it's
yeah, you
great
go to
for dreaming.
yeah, you go to sleep and have some
Yeah, XL.
unlocking. Yeah,
Once you unlock this reality, like you said, that's a wrap. Once you figured it
yo, it's
out, it's
fucked
almost
up.
like, oh
What's
no.
fucked up
They
that
can't get
the
me.
shrooms. Yo, when they unlock, sometimes it's kind of fucked up though. Like the
Yeah.
shrooms, you go in there right, and it unlocks, boom, and now you're fucking fully aware, fully conscious. You're walking around testing shit out, and it's just disrespecting your fucking eyeballs, and it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, and it's like, and you sit there wondering, and you curse, and you do all different things, you know what I mean? And it's like, and then you sit down and you scroll through things, you do all kind, and then when you come back, it's like, man, the reality of everyday life is like you wonder if it's procedurally generated somehow. But you
They
know that
actually,
everybody's an individual and energy, at the same time. But everything around us is like procedurally put in front of us, or like we're going
Yeah.
through a maze. Like we're inside of a fucking, you know what I mean? Like a game.
because in the
Yeah.
one is many.
I get
Yeah, I
I
was
get
just talking about that, how we call ourselves individuals or humans, or I'm a man, but if you look at bread, bread is an individual thing, but it's made up of so many different things. How many different grains, how many cows milk, how many different cows are in that milk, or like
yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that. Like if we're a cell in a larger thing's body, it's like just imagine a cell in your body, and imagine that one little cell in your body wakes up and goes and looks around at the other cells and goes, "Oh man, I'm a cell inside this human," you know. But it goes,
Happening all the
but
time.
I'm not gonna become the human. I'm still gonna be this cell. So you got to live your whole life as a cell, but you know it, but you're not escaping it. So the cell's like, well, I'm gonna live this life as a cell, but I know exactly what I am. And it's kind of the
right.
same thing as like the mushrooms, where you wake up and you're like, you're just this little cell in this body of the universe.
Oh, we
But then you
are.
go, well, does that mean I'm transcended? Now I don't have to live this life, like I've freed myself from the
No.
matrix because I figured it out. No, it's like what you've actually figured it out is that being that little tiny cell playing your part in the universe is your gift. And it wasn't the point wasn't to escape it or transcend
Hmm.
it, your life. It was to realize that this is the life that you escaped the infinite to get to. Like, it's not about like trying to escape back into the infinite. It was the infinite trying to escape into you this whole time. And so then you come back and you go, oh, I don't need all these superpowers, because it's actually not having superpowers is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be human, just
Right,
wanted to be plain old simple here, human.
right.
And that
And
itself
that is a
is,
super. Yeah,
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 that.
we was all on
that's a
it.
mind fuck.
But yeah,
That's funny, man.
Sorry, I hear echo.
hey, Ozo. But yeah, that's
Yo,
that's how it been. About dreams, and you saying the microdosing and stuff. I've been training myself with that as well. And the people on the
that's dope.
podcast, they heard me say this story already. But you gotta check out the show Evil on Netflix. You ever see that
Mm.
yet?
Nah.
It's a priest. I'm gonna go through it real fast. It's like a priest, and it's like an X-Files type of thing where the investigator is the skeptic and stuff like that. So it's the
Mhm.
psychiatrist and it's the priest that's a black guy, and he like, oh,
Mhm.
these exorcisms, I'm taking out demons and stuff. And the psychiatrist like, no, this person needs help, or we need to see about their psychiatry and stuff. But sometimes she be seeing things that don't make sense, and sometimes he go with what she's saying, like, oh yeah, what she's saying, he does need an exorcist. You don't need to call the priest this. But then at the end of the shows, he be taking mushrooms and stuff, and he's saying this would help him get back his visions so that he can see, because he said
Okay.
God cut off his vision a long time ago, so he got to take mushrooms and stuff.
Wow.
So I said this show go deep, and
Wow.
she deal with trying to practice lucid dreaming and
Wow.
stuff like that, because she starts seeing his sleep paralysis. But it tie into my life because I was telling my girl about the creature that was in there, that funny guy, and I was saying, yeah, this is real, and if you see stuff like tactics and stuff, know that's a dream, and now she saw stuff she was younger. So then a day that same night, I was in my world, in some world, and I saw something look similar to it, and I think this was you all talking about the links too. I saw something similar to it, and then I had the thought. I was like, "Wait," I said, "That looked like that guy. I want to see him." So then, I conjured the door in front of me, or like a door just popped up in front of me, and then I saw him. I was like a little window in the door, and I saw that he was on the other side, standing there. And so then I walked in the door, and then all I just had the thought of like laughter. I just kept on laughing at him, like, "Yo, I knew this was possible." Like I just pulled off something. Like I was able to see him. I knew that I wouldn't be scared, or that he wasn't nothing to be scared about. That he was just he's just ugly. He's just ugly like that. Ain't nothing to be scared of. And it was just realizing all these things about reality and stuff, but it's not at the same time. Still like working out the tools. Like I pulled off a spell or something. Oh, I got that spell to work, and I conjured them up, and and I just was like, wow, like it's on with the lucid stuff now. Cause then
That's dope.
I was fighting for, not fighting for control, but I like knew it. So it was just like a grandioso test, a gatekeeper test,
Sweet.
like we were saying earlier, or just an experience. I'm gonna have some more, and somebody else gonna pop up. I'm like, oh, you look like his cousin.
As a gatekeeper experience, I always say, man, the treasures are hidden behind things that they'll scare you or cause you to be
Mm-hmm.
deceived. Like so many people, I always felt like that. It makes me feel bad for like an entity or something. Yeah, like there's this beautiful entity. It's so beautiful, but it appears to you as like scary. And someone be like, ah, demon, and the entity's just like, dude, calm down, dude. I'm not a demon. Like, shut up. But you're over there freaking out. Ah! Like, no, so
True
annoying.
story. Word to the
Mm.
uh. But hey guys, actually gotta sign out. I gotta pick up my girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Work. But yeah, I'm gonna
What
tie
you
back on
going, bro?
here, and I'm gonna get on the
Hmm.
scooter and look around for some flesh of the gods.
You gotta
Take
look
some
for
video.
wood chips. That's what you need to look for, is wood chips areas wherever they
Pull over
got.
whenever you see a wood chip pile and
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
a
Especially
little
them parts,
inspection.
you know them places where they collect it. They be like little junkyard kind of looking, but they're fucking full of chips and wood and stuff like that, where they sell wood chips and stuff like that. But behind, like, I don't know if, nah, not Home Depot. I forgot the name of these spots they be having. They be having huge ass piles of wood chips, bro, just sitting there, like, and they sell them different by the train tracks and stuff like that. Like, damn, I forgot. I wish they had it like that everywhere. Like we already knew where the wood chips was at. Like, let's go, let's go check, this huge pile over here.
I got a
And you
couple
just walk on
piles.
it.
Hey,
That's
I
what's
we'll
up.
check
see what
frequently.
happens. All right, God. Thanks, Mr.
All right, man.
Riozo,
Be safe, man. Yeah,
coming
peace,
on
man. Be
through.
safe.
Yeah, thanks, Ty.
Yeah, man.
Exile, Wildman Ninja, Philster, and King
You
Guys.
guys have a beautiful day.
Yeah, you too, man.
Do my
One
best.
love.
Yeah, y'all ain't ready, man.
Ain't ready till it's on and popping.
Oh shit. All right, peace, man. I know Exile ain't ready.
Oh, you can hit me anytime.
No.
Hey guys, y'all take care. Y'all take care. I'm gonna tie on out of here. This has been the Psy Tai podcast number 105. Shouts to thank you for coming on through. LaShawn Newman, Stephen Thomas, Prince Pearl Double O, H70 Polo, and Piano Key and Cristobal. It was an awesome time. Y'all tie, but do we really tie? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I don't know. Check out the Just Tie Now store, the Just Tie Now website, www.justtieNow.com. All of these episodes are on Spotify, Pandora. Stream them, download them, so you can watch them and listen to them in your spare time. And